Here we are again.
All right.
Snarf Talk is back. We have a special guest that isn't so special anymore.
The dude.
Thank you.
How's it feel to not be special anymore?
Yeah, you really aren't.
I've never been special a day in my life.
Well, you were like the first 4 times you were on. We were like, what? We have a guest. Now it's just like, well, dude crawled back into the...
He's here.
Yeah.
He's back.
Crawled back into the video.
We got a new setup here today. Frankly, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a better table.
I got more leg room. I know that.
Yeah.
It's a much better
And it's
table
just
than that.
less rickety.
Yeah. There's no big metal thing hanging off.
I don't know why they made that table that we had before. It's just a regular fold-out white table, right? But it has this, what would you even call it? It's like a fold-out
It's an iron
metal.
I don't know what it is.
for an
part-
ironing board.
No, it's not.
Telling you.
It's
It
definitely
is.
not for an ironing board.
Telling you.
I don't think it's an ironing board, but it looks like one of those grill things, like those grill, stainless steel grill things you can put on there for vegetables with the holes in it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like to me. Serves absolutely no purpose because you can't prop it up. It doesn't like stand up flat.
Yeah.
You know what really stretches my springs, Chris?
That table.
Stupid ass tables that don't let you do what you want. And it has a little metal thing on the side.
I got one for stretches my springs.
Can I finish one real quick, though? I had a Stretches My Springs that was about holding doors open many episodes ago.
Oh, my God.
I hold a door open for Chris Harford. And you know what he does when he walks through it? Puts his hand on the door as if I'm not capable of holding a door for Chris. And like you said on the podcast, it's because it's like a patriarchal thing, or like I'm challenging your masculinity and you can hold your own door.
Yeah.
And you did it to me, and I called you out immediately. I said, you know, that really stretches my springs, Chris.
I didn't even notice.
I know you didn't. And you're like, whatever. I thought it was hilarious.
So no thank you? Nothing?
Nothing. It was just like, I'm going to put my hand on the door because I don't respect you.
Well,
That's
That's
how
right.
I...
That's
Take-
pretty much
take the
right
hint,
on.
Gary. Take the hint.
We went to Mojo's.
We did go to Mojo's, but this was coming out of the movie theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went to see Star Wars Rise of
times.
Skywalker again with our wives and went to Mojo's.
We did. And I thoroughly enjoyed the movie the second time.
I liked it better the second time. I'm sure we'll talk about it later because
We
dude
will.
hasn't really had a chance to give his review yet. So
Dude was at the first showing with us.
the first screening we went to.
Yeah.
I haven't heard you guys. I haven't heard that podcast yet, but I'm sure we're
It comes out tomorrow.
It came out last Friday,
Yeah.
but which is...
No, it
tomorrow.
comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, but when this...
Ah.
Yep. Now you get it.
Magic. What stretches your springs?
Okay, everybody has a Keurig probably in the room except for Chris. He has a highbrow Keurig.
Keurig.
Keurig. Yes. He's got the fancy ninja bar.
I got the George Clooney.
Yeah, the
Nespresso.
Oh, you do have an espresso now.
So, you know what really stretches my springs? When people take the little cup out and set it next to the Keurig instead of walking across the kitchen and putting it in the garbage.
Right.
I used to have one that was
I completely
refillable.
agree with you.
Yeah, I have one of those, and I love it.
Yeah,
The
didn't they
coffee's
come
much
with the
better.
machine?
No.
They used to, but then they got rid of them because people weren't buying the pods. So,
And
you
that's
know
where they
what-
make
you know
their
what really,
money.
really stretches my springs is when somebody takes one out of the coffee pot and sets it down, and the next person comes behind them and takes another one and sets it on top of the second pot instead of walking across the kitchen to throw them the hell away.
That sounds terrible.
You gotta get it up closer or more gain on that.
All right, sorry,
I'll boost it in post.
Okay, but I need it for this.
sorry. But no, that really stretches my springs, and I've been wanting to say that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would completely agree with you that it would, more than stretch my springs.
So coffee related spring stretching, nonetheless. I
that was
also
a
have
tongue
one.
twister.
Yeah. What stretches my springs is the Nespresso, because
Why?
the pods cost $1.20 a piece, and there's not any generics yet.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no generics for that machine.
Zero. For that particular model, it has its own different kind of pod.
Wow. So you can't even use any other model
is the
of
coffee worth it or
Nespresso?
No.
That is straight capitalism.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So is it worth it?
No, but I got it as a gift, so now.
I mean, you like the coffee though. You
Oh,
said
the
it's
coffee's
great
delicious.
coffee,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I meant. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, the coffee's really good.
but
It's
not coffee or is it espresso?
either. They have different sized pods, and then the actual machine itself reads a barcode on it, so it knows how much water to mix for that particular pod.
Eyebrow.
They have little espresso pods, and then they
Yeah.
have a regular cup of coffee pod, and they actually have travel mug pods. So you get different size pods.
But you have to spend a different amount of money for each one of those.
I don't
pods.
know. I've only really got the regular size ones, and usually I just run them through twice.
Yeah,
The low
And
budget.
it gives me like 16 ounces. Or
that's what I
whatever.
used to do with Keurig
And,
stuff. all the
and
time.
honestly, it's fine. It's fine
Yeah.
that way. And the coffee is really, really, really good. So I can't complain about that at all. Just bugs me when I know I'm paying so much for it.
Expensive coffee is like expensive whiskey. Once you start drinking it, you can't go back to cheap shit.
I don't know if that's true because I can definitely drink a Casey's dark roast coffee all day long.
Yeah, I can drink that.
Yeah, but
I really like the AeroPress.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
You
Too
can-
messy though.
You can
Too
take.
much work.
AeroPress? Is that
It's a
same
little
thing?
bit of work.
Is that the same thing as a French press?
Pretty much.
Similar. It's similar
It's
to a French
designed to
press.
be like a simpler.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have a French press and I love it, but like it's very time consuming.
Time-consuming,
I
yeah.
want instant gratification.
I know.
Push a
And
button.
messy. That's the thing. It's
Yeah,
messy.
you just dump it down the drain. It's all right.
Yeah, I don't think it's that messy. It is. I mean, it's more messy than a regular coffee pot, and it is a little bit more time consuming. But man, I only do it like on the weekend. I wouldn't do it like when I'm on my way to work because I wake up with very little time to get ready to go to work.
Yeah.
So I don't use it that often. But when I do, even like junk coffee, it makes it taste 1,000 times better
I agree with you 100% on that.
if it's brewed correctly.
Yeah.
You know.
Got to pre-do the pot and all that, get it hot. And
Well, see, this is just a
just like a
plastic
tube.
with a press in it, but at the bottom is a screen. You know, you have a filter, like a paper filter,
Yeah.
and a screw-on cap, and you put I put all my stuff in. I do it upside down. I do it a reverse way. So I put the plunger in first, flip it upside down, put all my coffee grinds in there, and then the water, and I fill it all the way up to the top. And then I put the filter and cap on the end, flip it over, and push it into the
Just
cup.
push it through.
But I let it sit in there for like 30 seconds. The big thing is getting the temperature of the water correctly.
Yeah.
Because if you have it
And
too
you want
hot,
to pre-wet your grounds.
yes.
It's very important.
it
Yeah,
is.
and you
It's
also want
blooming.
to preheat the tube because you lose your temperature when you pour it through.
Yeah. And you got to pre-wet the filter as well.
Yeah.
But it's really great coffee, I think. And I do it, if you do it just once, it's super strong. And then you add water to that to make it whatever strength you want. But I would do it twice for a big cup of coffee and then add water to it. It's like perf every time.
Perfecto.
No, just perf.
Works every time. 60%.
Well, that's
Ooh.
enough coffee talk.
That's coffee talk on Snarf Talk.
butter. That was butter.
Anyway, I like that a lot. And where do we go to next?
We don't have anywhere to go. We're in the Wild
We're
West
just
here.
here.
I love Coolers Light.
Dude. Oh. I'm not,
It's
What are you drinking tonight?
middle of the road.
Chris?
I'm drinking a Modelo Especial.
Nice.
What's so special about it?
I don't know.
For those of you who don't speak Spanish, that's what that stands for. Special.
I think they could probably gather that.
Is it special?
Yeah, no. It just tastes like Miller Lite,
Does it?
pretty much.
I have drank Modelo before, but
No, I
Miller
like
Lite Mexican.
Modelo.
Here we
It's
go.
like it's just a crisp, clean, light beer.
okay.
I like Coors Light occasionally, but it's a little sweet for my taste.
It is a
Has
lot
a very
sweeter
sweet
than.
aftertaste.
You're right. It's a lot sweeter than other beers.
Yeah,
What do you think makes what is that? Is it just their?
It's the mountain water.
I think they probably add
Might
some
be.
kind of sugar to it.
Well, do you think it's the type of grains they're using? They have a different mix.
I don't
a
know what
different,
kind of grain they use.
mash.
Actually, I think this stuff's brewed in St. Louis.
Coors Light.
Yeah, Coors. It's
No
they,
way.
No, they have regional breweries. Like
Negative.
the Budweiser brewery brews like in St. Louis. We'll do Rolling Rock. They do not Modelo. They do several different kinds. They do Shock
Top.
Shop Talk. They do a
Well,
bunch
this
of
one's
different
brewed in Mexico, dude. It says it right here. Brewed in Mexico.
I believe it's pronounced.
Yeah, well, this is born in the
Mexico.
Rockies, and I don't believe that for a second because that's not how it works.
No, I'm pretty sure it is.
No.
Bandit didn't sacrifice things for that to be brewed in
So
St.
what
Louis.
city did he go to in Texas?
He's
I don't
found
know.
a night.
I thought he went to
rolling up and
uh,
trucking.
Colorado.
No, I went to Texarkana, Texas.
He was
No, he
crossing
was
the
bringing it-
Mississippi.
He was bringing it back to Texarkana.
No, he went to Texarkana and then came back.
I thought he was delivering it east of the Mississippi.
He was.
He did. He went to Texarkana, Texas, picked it up, and came back.
Yeah.
But Texarkana is east
Call
of
Timmy Kilmer.
the
He's
Mississippi.
seen the movie 1,001
So
times.
have I, but I always thought the thing was like you went out to Colorado to get Coors because it was only brewed and distributed from Colorado,
No,
and then you brought it back
was
to the East Coast.
Only for sale on the west of the Mississippi. I don't know.
Right.
Yes. That was the big gimmick. Just like Blue Moon for a long time was only, you can only get it in certain states, and now it's just like Yingling. Yingling you can't get.
That's only like
West-
southeastern.
No, you can get
states,
it
right?
anywhere like in the east.
And it's up to the Indiana border now. So you can drive
It's in Indiana.
Hey guys, Coors Light is brewed in Golden, Colorado, Albany, Georgia, Elkton, Virginia, Fort Worth, Texas, Irwindale, California, Moncton, and Milwaukee.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Sorry, I missed it by like one state or two.
No St. Louis, but Milwaukee makes sense because it's owned by, Miller Coors. It's Miller Coors.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, but I like Coors Original. It's a
Banquet
good
beer?
Yeah, the Banquet beer is
Banquet
really
beer's
good.
good.
I like those little glass bottles that
Oh,
they sell.
yeah.
Those are really nice.
They're
Those are
great for
classic.
throwing at things.
They are.
Not as
They're
good
like
as the small, what was a 6-liter?
Yeah,
Miller Lite
grenades.
Grenades.
the grenades. Yeah.
Slam them, throw them out the window.
Or what are those? Mickey's? Isn't
Well, they
Mickey's?
had those.
Oh, Miller
Mickey's had
Lights.
them too.
Yeah.
Miller Lite had them too, though.
They had a lot of Miller Lights.
Oh,
grenades.
that's right. Miller
I drank
Lite did
a lot
have
of
them.
grenades when I was 20. Oh my god.
When you were, you can't do that.
That's before the legal age. Speaking of the legal age,
This is a big deal in Illinois.
it's after the first, and marijuana's legal, boys. Recreational marijuana.
And cigarettes have moved to 21.
Yeah,
The legal
federally,
age
I
to,
believe.
yeah, buying tobacco, 21 years old.
So there were lines around the blocks in
Oh
our
my gosh.
nearest dispensaries.
It was down Route 6.
I think
Craziness.
everything sold out.
I saw a report that said the very first day they sold $3.2 million worth.
And so that's
Just
one,
in Morris?
No, that was like total in the state.
Well, that's not very much.
was
I
gonna
didn't
say,
think
yeah.
so either. But did you see a guy posted a receipt for how much they were charging, like per gram?
Is it a lot?
So it was like $71 per gram.
How much is a gram? Is that like
I
a
don't know.
pound?
No. I don't know how. I don't know.
almost bet that hook.
It's like he bought 3 different grams of different varieties of marijuana.
A gram. Okay.
But it's a 37% tax. So on that $71 a piece, he paid like $87 worth of tax.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're charging
Getting out a calculator here.
37% tax on his purchase. But that's
Wow.
So an eighth of an ounce, which is like a common, so I'm told, common
yeah.
measurement is
Chris.
an eighth
Yes.
of an ounce.
We all know.
That's 3.5 grams.
3.5 grams.
Yeah, an eighth of an ounce is not very big.
No, it's like 3 joints. Not that
Well,
No, it's way more than that.
so if he only bought a gram each at $71,
That's a lot of money.
and that's what the ticket said, the receipt, it just said 1G, $71. I would assume that means 1 gram.
1 gram is $71.
That's what it said on his
That's
receipt.
an insane amount of money.
And then, like I said, he paid $87 in tax.
On top of the 71?
Yes.
So he paid 140
Oh no,
something?
No, he had 3 grams on there, so each one was like $70 to $71. He ended up paying like $302 total.
Well, that's outlandish. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
a lot of
And
money.
That's like $20 on the street.
exactly, exactly. So
Turns out the cartels are gonna keep making money.
it's unbelievable.
I don't know what the street price is, but
I don't have
I
a
guarantee
clue.
you it's less than that.
Yeah, I mean, cocaine
I don't have a
tell
clue,
you,
but
you know.
that seems unnecessary. Like, I just don't know what that's going to fix. I guess it will pull some people off of the street to get stuff, but
I feel like, okay, this is what bothers me. It's like, hey, we're going to appease all you people and we're going to make marijuana legal. And I mean, not necessarily us, but other people. And they're like, yay. Like, and we're going to tax it. So ridiculous because why?
because we
Because we can.
'Cause we're broke.
And it's just like, what right do you have to tax something at what you just said?
Yeah,
At,
37%.
37%. That was weird. And then on top of it, I was thinking after that, I'm like, okay, it's legal now. Think of the millions of, maybe not millions, but think of all the people whose lives were completely destroyed
I know.
for the last 30 years
That
because of ridiculous drug laws. And then finally they're just like, never mind.
Well, I thought a lot of those people were going to get.
Well, think about the people that already had their lives destroyed, though. You know what I mean?
So I know Indiana had min-max. Did Illinois have it that too?
Well, we've been decriminalized for a while now, but still, I mean, they have the 3 strikes law, and anybody that had marijuana, even depending on how much you had, they still slammed you with an intent to distribute.
Yeah, that's what the min-max comes from. It's like, say you had 6 pounds. Well, whatever that.
That's
a
a
minimum.
lot.
Well, just say you had that much on you. That meant you were getting a maximum sentence. And I don't in Indiana, if you had so much weed, you could get life in prison. There's people that did because they were trafficking it.
I mean, there's people in
Stupid.
Illinois. There's people in Illinois that had 15, 20 years in prison for possession.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, legal. Whoops.
And they're still in prison, aren't they?
No, I mean,
No,
they're getting out. They're all getting pardoned.
he pardoned like.
But I'm
a
talking about,
bunch
think of the
people.
guy that was in jail from 1980 to 1995.
No
You know what I
kidding.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's just ridiculous. And then it's just silly. It's silliness. This government, man, it's out of control. It's out of control, guys.
It doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't seem fair.
Well, we
but
elected our
what do
governor.
we do?
I mean, I don't know.
No, I'm happy that it's been legalized. My point is just like for the last 30 years, it's just out of control that anybody can sit there and be like, yeah, let's make that illegal. And yeah, we'll send you to prison for 20 years and completely destroy your life and everybody around you.
Right.
It's just like, what?
Yeah. Isn't
It's
that crazy?
a plant.
I know.
It's
A
crazy.
natural
And now, 20 years later, all the states are just like, oh, yeah, it's cool now.
Well, we'll get it. We'll get away from
So
that.
I'm going to go down the path as the devil's
Whoops.
advocate here. Now, opium is just a plant too. Is that okay?
Well, it's a derivative of a plant, but yeah, I think it is okay. I think it's fine. I mean,
Just want to know your opinion.
Wouldn't like THC be a derivative of the marijuana plant?
THC is the active chemical, but I don't think if you go smoking a poppy plant, you're gonna get an opium fix. It's got to be processed in some way.
Does it? I don't know. I know nothing
believe
about
so,
it. But,
yeah.
I
Oh.
know nothing about heroin, so
Marijuana, you can just literally smoke the plant.
Well, that's true.
just like tobacco.
Yeah, but you can't do that with
But it's wacky.
with poppies or with coca.
Yeah, that takes a lot of
I
processing.
think if you ate enough poppy seeds, you would get
You
some
know,
sort
you
of a
probably
high.
have to eat like a horse trough full of poppies.
to get high, yeah. I know that I got flagged at work because I had a bunch of poppy seed bread. Like it's huge in our
Yeah.
family at Christmas, like huge. And I ate like half of my mom's roll of kolaches, we call them. So it's just like a
Yeah.
pinwheel. Ate a crap ton of it, and I got tested. And I told the nurse, "Hey, I've been eating a crap ton of poppy seed." She goes, "All right," and I got flagged. I had to get retested, but it was.
I
That's
think it
a,
happened on Seinfeld.
That's
too.
what I was just gonna say. It's an episode on Seinfeld too, where Elaine eats a poppy
she
seed
eats a
bagel,
poppy seed bagel.
and she fails the drug test.
Marley got flagged for ecstasy at the hospital when she was like 8 months pregnant or 9 months pregnant.
What?
We went in to have one of the babies, and they're
Ecstasy.
like, they come in,
Molly.
and this
Rolling.
is after she'd been in the hospital for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And the nurse comes in. She's like, I just need to check. But like, you're not doing ecstasy, right? And she's been on bed rest for like 2 months. And she was laughing.
Yeah.
Like, no. And
Is
obviously,
this with Skylar?
I don't remember. But it turns out the blood pressure medication she was on could do like a false positive
So
for
you can
ecstasy.
tell us the truth here.
Yeah, I'm about to say if it was Skylar,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense.
We were rolling.
Was she rolling? Yeah. Rolling the E.
The E train.
Is that what it's called on the
I
street?
never really enjoyed ecstasy. It was like,
My
I've
gosh,
never-
you are a heavy drug user.
yeah, it was.
I've never done any of that.
Live
Really?
podcast here.
No.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
No, I've never done that either.
I know a lot of people that have. Well, not a lot. Like one guy, actually. And he used to tell me about it. I was like, okay, sounds cool, I guess.
You know, it just seems like a lot of work.
A lot of work?
Taking a pill.
Yeah, no, just like dealing with the consequences of it.
Yep.
So I have here, this is completely off topic of what we were talking about, but I have here Rotten Tomatoes best scored comic book TV shows
Okay.
from 2019.
From 2019.
Yes.
Best
So
okay.
shows that were out in 2019, these are the ones that rated the highest, except for one of them.
There was a lot.
There was one that they threw into this
There's a
thing
cat.
that I think they just threw it in there so people could see how terrible the season was, I guess. But guess what the highest rated comic book TV show was of 2019?
The Boys.
Rotten Tomatoes wise. No. Didn't even make this list, actually.
Really?
I find that hard to believe.
All right. Dude, what do you guess?
Mandalorian?
That's not a comic book.
Well, all right. I have no idea.
The Watchmen.
Oh, duh.
The Watchmen
Yeah, that
season
totally
1
makes sense.
has a 96% Rotten Tomato score.
Deservedly so.
Yes, absolutely.
have not started it yet.
The one, let me see. The one
If you guys
right-
haven't seen Watchmen, I highly recommend it. It's phenomenal.
That's next after His Darkest Matter. I got one.
His
episode.
Dark Materials.
That's it. I don't know.
the one
My Darkest Matter.
the one that it's actually tied for first because this one tied it is Daredevil season 3.
Was that this year?
It's 2018. I don't know where this thing comes from.
Okay.
It says from 2019,
Well, season 3 Daredevil was really good.
but it's at 96% as
Wasn't it
well.
the very beginning, like January, February timeframe it came out?
No, it was like you said, it was 2018.
95% was Arrow's most recent season.
Haven't seen it yet.
That was at 95%. 90, where's it at? 94% was Jessica Jones.
Okay, I didn't finish it.
No.
It was good. I enjoyed it. Another 94% was Swamp Thing.
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's rated. It's a 94% Rotten Tomato score.
It was fine, but it does not deserve a 94%.
Really?
No, they fucked up the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
Real
It was like okay, and then
It was fine.
we tried to like it. In retrospect,
I wanted to love it.
yeah. I think
And
we tried harder than we needed to.
I think it could have been great. I think season 2 would have been phenomenal had they been able to do it.
It just
but
went on all the weirdest paths.
it's because they cut down the episodes from
and it's because
13
Abby
to
Arcane
10.
was so annoying,
She was
Yeah.
annoying, and
and the dad was annoying, or
They-
whatever. His
you
name
know-
is.
you could tell the actors knew that it was ending, and it was like, or that they cut the episodes down, and it was just like, okay, we're done.
It could
they
have
just
just
quit.
been something way cooler.
91% was Legion.
You know,
I've never
I
watched
need
it.
to finish watching. I haven't finished season 1 yet, and I think you're talking season 2. So
Yeah, I've never watched it. Let's see. Winona Earp, 93%.
didn't see it.
Yeah, it was on Netflix, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It is on. Is it on Netflix? Let me see what it says.
It was on Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
I scrolled past it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but that's a like a obscure comic from the 90s, kind of. Winona Earp. It's an Image comic. 89% was Dark.
It's so obscure, you probably haven't heard of it.
Probably haven't heard of it. I have though.
It's a very hipstery thing.
Dark Matter. Do you know this show?
Nope.
I don't either. A scrappy crew of the Raza
Sounds like something I would
reflected
like, though.
the sensibility of this 3-season sci-fi wonder based on a Dark Horse comic by the same name.
You know what?
It excelled at utilizing its few standing sets and completely obscuring its tight economics concerns while telling a tale
You
of
can
an
tell
emergency
that they're
revolution.
basing this off critic scores because the high-rated ones
They
are
are.
using the word obscure a lot.
Yes, it is. It's critic scores. This isn't user reviews. So that's 89% of Dark Matter. And then there's an 88% for DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And then coming in last on this list is The Walking Dead at 64%.
Where's Doom Patrol at?
Yeah. No Doom Patrol. No The Boys, which they obviously just overlooked that because that should be higher on that list.
Yeah.
Well,
It says
so that was a little bit of looking back.
Yep.
I got one from Rotten Tomatoes as well. If we want to look forward to 2020, and we can talk about the most anticipated movies by month
Ooh,
of 2020. You guys want to do that?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen that Dark Matter show. I started watching it. It's really good.
What's that on
recommend
Netflix?
it. It was on Sci-Fi. I think it's on Netflix
It says
now.
it's a sci-fi show. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have the Sci-Fi app. I'll check that
That's
out.
pretty good.
Another one that's on Netflix that I've heard from Maggie and Zach, actually. They had told me Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix is really good.
You know,
I've never even heard of it.
You've mentioned that.
I haven't seen it, but
I think me and you've talked about.
I watched like the first episode or part of the first episode, and it looked interesting. Every episode's like a different. It's almost like a Twilight Zone-y type thing, where every episode's like a vignette. It's a different story.
Yeah.
And different style, filmmaking style, different everything.
Really?
Yeah. So it looks interesting. I haven't gotten to it yet. So if we go most anticipated movies of 2020, starting in January, we got The Grudge.
No.
Nope.
We got He Ain't Go Nowhere. We are bad boys for life.
Oh, Bad Boys 3?
Bad Boys for Life.
Is that it's called? But it's number 3.
Number 3.
I watched that. I thought
I'm not excited as some of our friends are to see this.
Yeah.
But
We were hearing all about it on New Year's Eve. People were really excited about it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I liked the first two. I
Yeah.
can't say that I have like they stick out in my mind as like anything that
I thought they were
they
decent.
were
They're
decent. The trailer doesn't look great in my opinion,
They're good, like time waster movies.
but
on the
I like
weekend.
Will Smith and
Yeah.
I'm in. I'll watch it. I'm not going to see it in theaters.
No, I won't.
Nope.
either.
Doolittle, which is one I'm very excited about. I think it looks
Really?
amazing.
That comes out in January.
Comes out in January.
Oh, man.
January 17th, actually, like a couple
Oh
weeks.
yeah.
Watch the trailer. It looks
I've
amazing.
seen the trailer. I'm just not excited for it. I'm just not.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna
I think
see
it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to see it. The Gentleman, which is
No, that looks
Matthew
good.
McConaughey.
That looks
Oh, it's a
pretty
Guy Ritchie movie.
It is.
Okay.
That looks good.
I'm in for that. I love Guy Ritchie. Matthew McConaughey's good. Charlie Hunnam. Man,
It looks like Matthew McConaughey's character is Matthew McConaughey in every other movie.
Colin Farrell. Great
it.
cast.
It looks like a good movie,
It
but
does,
Matthew
yeah.
McConaughey is the exact same person every time.
Okay, we got, and then the last one is the Rhythm section. I don't know what that is. So,
It's
a
the,
female assassin movie with Blake Lively and Jude Law.
okay. Why is
Based on a novel.
a female assassin movie with Jude Law?
Blake Lively stars as the latest troubled female assassin movie based on an eponymous hip-hop anonymous
Hip hop anonymous.
novel by Mark Burnell.
You give him all the easy ones.
She plays a plane crash survivor who wants to get to the bottom of a disaster that killed her family.
I know a couple.
She's set on a path of revenge. If you weren't,
Okay, of course.
Just
That
hell-bent.
that clears it up. That makes sense.
we gotta
Hollywood original.
we gotta
coming
get
at ya.
past these bent on a path of revenge movies.
Well, all
Although,
of them.
I mean, look, John Wick's doing better than anything.
Yes,
I-
and that was over a dog.
My parents were just talking
right.
about one with Gerard
Way.
Butler. Yeah, Gerard. Yeah, the black balloon
Yeah.
guy, whatever it is.
Gerard Way.
What's the balloon song?
Does he sing
Balloon
that?
song.
Yeah,
Is it? He's the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, it's a balloon.
I don't know.
I'm lost here.
Do you know who Gerard Way is?
I do not.
He's the lead
He
singer.
is the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, but he's also the writer of
Umbrella
Academy.
Really?
Yes.
Which that was.
And he had a song,
That- you know
something
what, that
about
would-
Black Parade.
Oh, Black Parade. Yes.
Black Parade, not Black Balloon. I was thinking of Baby Black Balloon makes it fly.
Yeah, you guys give
I'm
me
always
shit about saying
worried
stuff
about that
wrong.
hole in your life.
I don't know.
You're
that
not
song.
thinking about tomorrow. Cause you are the same as me. Does anybody know this song?
I don't know that song.
Oh my
you
gosh,
now?
it's the Goo Goo Dolls.
Who was it on the Joe Rogan podcast that is related to Gerard Way, and they'd never met each other, but he was a famous dude.
I don't remember,
And
but
it
I
was
remember you're talking about
He
that.
said he's like, oh yeah, he's a cousin of mine.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? Have you met him? No. Oh, okay.
He's
like,
kind
but
of
I
a
know we're
cool
related.
dude. He's just like super emo,
Yeah,
but whatever.
that's fine.
February, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
It's gonna be so.
God.
bad.
Womp, 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 womp.
It's gonna be so terrible.
It's gonna be horrible.
It looks terrible. I don't want
I mean,
it.
she's not wearing any skimpy outfits because she refuses to.
She
show
refused
skin
to.
anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. The movie itself looks
Yeah, but
awful.
it's Harley Quinn. I mean, she's
Okay,
supposed to be
here's a good
bad
question
person.
for you. One of the cast members in this movie is Journey Smollett. Do you
Is that
think
Jussie Smollett?
that's related to Jussie Smollett?
It's got to.
It would
Gotta
be
be.
amazing if that was the case.
How many people do you know last name
How
Smollett?
many people, how many Smollets can be famous from Chicago?
Exactly.
Somebody's got to look that up.
I guarantee. Isn't that what you're doing?
Yeah, I am, but
I guarantee you she's related. It's probably his sister.
Spouse,
Well, he's
Siblings?
gay, so it's definitely not his spouse.
parents, siblings. Who are we looking for?
Journey Smollett.
I have that.
Smollett.
Smollett
Smollett.
Bell. Smollett Bell. No.
Smollett.
Oh, it is his sister.
Told you. Knew it. Nailed it.
Wow.
Won it.
So should you give a little insight
So-
to who Jesse Smollett is?
You mean
He-
what does Dave Chappelle call him?
I don't remember.
Oh,
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Oh,
He
he's just the
he
dude
got
that.
kidnapped and got a rope put around his neck by a bunch of white guys in Chicago on the South Side.
Yeah.
But he had to stop for a Subway sandwich before he went to the police.
My favorite part of that bit, we're not doing it justice, but was like, in Chicago?
Yeah.
It's like, I've never heard any white people talk like that. That sounds like something I would say. That is the greatest stand-up special I have ever seen.
It's really,
awesome.
really good. And here's the thing. So this guy was on, what was that show? Empire. Long-running show. Apparently very good is what I hear. Never watched it.
Nope.
And
It's like a soap opera, right?
yeah,
But like a primetime soap opera.
right, on Fox.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
And he was a main
I don't
character
think
on there.
I was the demographic they were
And
shooting
then he
for.
just
Nope.
claimed that it was a hate crime, somebody trying to hang him and kill him and beat him up. Turns out
No, it was, he was claiming it was MAGA hat wearing Trump supporters.
right.
So
Hate, but a hate crime.
So he got arrested. He was in the clink.
But they found him not
Nah,
guilty.
they just kind of gave up on
I
it.
think they
Didn't they?
I think they're like,
Chicago-
this is going to cost a lot of money.
So the Chicago police didn't want the bad press because what was going to happen is they're going to arrest this guy for obstruction of justice because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And this
They
one-
band him from Chicago, didn't they?
I couldn't
They
tell.
should sue him though for the
The
what did they
cost?
spend $10 million or something? Like
I don't know. I mean, the
It was a
cost of
ton.
time for the detectives, for all of the police force, for the trial,
but also
court
like
case, whatever.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like don't spend that money. Don't investigate it that much. Like just let it go.
Right.
Like because if it was not a famous person and somebody came in and they said that and they had a Subway sandwich and then the next day they found out it was bullshit, you think they're spending $10 million to investigate?
No, but part of that $10 million is probably also to satisfy the media because
Yep.
it was a celebrity. So therefore, he's going to bring it up more and more and more if you don't.
Well, and the
look
city of
into it.
Chicago doesn't want people thinking there's
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
people doing hate crimes.
he
from
brought
that.
it to the attention of the media right off the bat. You have to do something then.
Yeah, I think it was more just sheer the obnoxiousness. Of
Now,
it.
if he would have come
What
like an hour
was-
and a half south of Chicago, I mean, he was in Chicago, one of the heavily Democratic
What would
party city
make
cities
you
in the
think you
world.
could get away with that though?
Because he's from Hollywood and stupid. I
Has
don't know.
he? Have you heard him speak?
I haven't.
He's
I
an
never-
idiot. The best thing about it was the next day, like all the people that were like, "I stand with justice."
Yes,
After
tons
it
of
came
them.
out that it was pretty much bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of them said, we're going to leave that up to the authorities, but they just want to be incredibly politically correct because you can't say like I don't believe him because if it was a hate crime, then it'll come back and be like, well, then you didn't think it was a hate crime, so do you hate him too?
Right.
No, come on.
I agree
Anyway,
with you.
Journey Smollett.
Okay, do you think she was a
Juicy
part of the
Smollett.
crew?
I do. I'm going to go on record and say I think that she was on.
She was in on the ruse.
So what other movies are coming out?
All right, we're on February. The Lodge. I don't know what that is. Downhill, starring Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes, so that is a
Directed by Nat Faxon and Jim Rash. I love both those.
okay.
guys.
Well, have you seen the trailer for it?
No.
I have. It does not look that good.
No.
Okay.
Looks
It's-
like serious comedy.
It gets very serious because what happens is like there is a avalanche on this mountain resort, but it's
Okay.
like it's done on purpose, and there's warning signs all over that say we're going to do like what is that called?
Controlled
Avalanche. That's what I was trying to think of.
Like
And-
the game Cool Borders 2.
And they do it, and they're sitting out on this like
They do a controlled
deck eating breakfast, and they didn't know it was going to happen. This avalanche comes, and he keeps telling them, no, it's fine. It's not coming towards us. It's not going to get to us. Well, then it starts to get towards them, and he grabs his phone and leaves his family and runs away. Like completely like takes off and leaves his family there. And then nothing ended up happening to him, but his wife knows what he did. She's like, you left us there. And that's Julie Louis-Dreyfus. She's like, you left us there and like ran like a coward. What were you doing? And then they have security video of him like leaving, coming back and grabbing his phone and leaving again. So that part is kind of funny, but then it gets really serious about.
It's really funny.
It gets really serious though about
you
their
gotta see the trailer,
relationship and like their relationship is falling apart before that, and it just gets into like marital stuff that I don't want to watch.
Well, it's a remake of the 2014 Swedish comedy drama Force Majeure. Do you know who Nat Faxon is?
Is he related to Matt Fraction?
No.
Because he's a really good comic book writer.
I'm just moving on. And Jim Rash is the guy. I believe he was the guy that was in Community. He played the dean.
Oh, okay.
And
the dean, wasn't he he's a British guy.
No. The dean was like that little bald guy that looked like Moby.
I thought he was the principal.
Fucking Moby.
Oh, no, you're right. That's Dean. Yes.
Yeah, that's Jim Rash.
Yeah. You're right. Okay.
And Nat Faxon is on. He's been in a ton of movies too. He's very funny. He's got kind of a front buck teeth.
That narrows it down.
Not a lot of actors do.
Nope.
All right, so we're still in February. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Nope.
Fantasy Island.
Nope.
It's a remake of Fantasy Island, but in movie form. That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, it does.
The Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford.
Eh.
We saw the trailer for that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks fine.
It looks
It's
fine.
not anything I would watch.
Whatever.
No.
The Invisible Man, which is a Universal Monsters one. It's, it was being made when The Mummy with Tom Cruise, they were going to make that whole Universal Monsters franchise. It was like
didn't
the work out.
Dark.
Yeah.
What'd they call it?
Whatever they called it.
I don't
They were going to
remember,
do like Dracula and
or
Frankenstein, but they're doing the Invisible Man. Onward, which is the new Pixar movie.
It doesn't look that good.
No, it doesn't.
That didn't.
No, it does not. Vin Diesel movie Bloodshot. It's a comic book movie. A Valiant Comics assassin relaunch series. Unstoppable super soldier powered by nano machines. Bloodshot's past is a mystery to him, and he's on a mission to find out who he is or what is controlling him.
I've seen the trailer. It looks okay. I don't think I go see it in theaters, but I'll definitely.
I tell you what, like hearing things like when you read what something is about and you just like read it out loud, sometimes things just sound awful.
Most of the time. I don't know if they got that right, these things.
It just sounds ridiculous. And so when I've explained our comic books or things that we've written and stuff, and when you explain it to somebody out loud and say it, a lot of times people are like, I don't know, sounds kind of funny. And even to me, it'll sound funny, But if you were to watch it or read it in a book, it's completely different. And it can be really good because there's a lot more context to it than just what you've read.
Right.
But most things, man, I'm like, gosh, that sounds like so dumb.
Yeah.
And then you watch it, you're like, man, that was awesome. I really like that. But I don't know. It's just something when you read it out loud that you're like, I don't know if I'd ever watch that.
All right, moving on because there's a lot of these. A Quiet Place Part 2.
Saw the trailer for that recently.
Mulan, which looks amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
April, we got New Mutants coming out.
That looks bad.
Ooh, here we go, guys. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway.
Great.
Nope.
No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie.
Yes, who wants to watch that?
Pretty good.
You're going to watch it.
I'm going to see it.
I know you are.
Trolls World Tour.
Don't want to see that.
God.
Antlers.
Don't
keep
want to
going.
see that. Don't
Carrie Russell and Jesse Plemons star
keep
in a
going.
supernatural thriller about a small town teacher and a sheriff brother who find themselves in a waking nightmare.
Okay.
See
what I mean about reading things out loud?
We got Black.
Well, I said to keep going.
Yeah.
In May, we got Black Widow. We got Legally Blonde 3.
Oh, God.
You're shitting me. They're
How old
making
is she?
another Legally Blonde movie.
She's
Is
got
this
to be
for
like
real?
50 years old.
Yeah. At some point, she's got to find love.
At some point, did she lose?
Is she going back to college?
Does she
or
still have her
what?
bar? Like, does she still have her?
I'm going
bar
back to
license?
Harvard to find me a man.
I don't know. Let's read the description.
Please
It's
do.
been 15 years since we last saw Elle Woods in Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. And, why wouldn't we want to see her again? It's been some time since Oscar winner Witherspoon had a hit comedy movie. But if you told us this was going to be a smash, we wouldn't object.
Has she ever had a hit comedy movie?
Legally Blonde.
Was that a hit?
Yeah, definitely.
Was it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
To who?
Like, it was a big movie.
So you were either too young or you were deployed.
Oh, I've seen it. I just didn't know it was a hit.
I've never seen it.
We got a new Scooby-Doo movie called Scoob.
Wow, that's original.
Okay.
With Zac Efron. Fast and the Furious 9 coming out. Man, you guys are a tough crowd. Artemis Fowl comes out.
Yeah,
I think I've seen a trailer for that.
I've seen two trailers for
Yeah,
it.
it looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's piqued my curiosity.
That one looks cool. I'll say that. In June, we got Wonder Woman 1984.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
So let's back at the Artemis Fowl. That's a Disney movie, correct?
I'm sure it is. It doesn't say, but Judi Dench and Josh Gad.
Yeah. Anyway.
Josh Gad is good.
Wonder
It's
Woman-
a popular fantasy book series about a young criminal mastermind who kidnaps a fairy in hopes of ransoming her to an evil pixie in exchange for his father. Now
that sounds good.
a description.
Yeah, now that sounds good. And I like Josh Gad a lot. I hope he sings in it.
Man, he is so good, isn't he?
He is.
He sings. It's okay in Frozen 2. Depending on what screening you're at, there's a different person that sings in the credits. There's like 4 of different ones that sing the credits,
Oh, really?
which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The screening I was in, Josh Gad was the one singing, and man,
I don't remember.
He's a great singer. We stayed for the whole credits just because the music was great.
Oh, really? Is that the time that you were talking about?
Enough.
Is that when you were talking about how the music wasn't good?
It was good.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually finding myself listening to it quite a bit lately.
So
Yeah,
Wonder Woman
because it's good.
looks amazing.
Wonder Woman looks really good. We talked about that a little bit a couple weeks ago, but
Yes. Looks very good.
that one I think looks better than the first one. I'll say that.
I agree. Because I think they got the hint that you shouldn't turn everything into a dark volcanic world.
We got
You
Top
think
Gun
it's only like
coming out then.
the 6th fucking movie they're going to screw up.
Yeah, no, maybe they'll get this one right.
We got Top
I
Gun,
hope so.
which we've talked about. We got July. We got Free Guy, which we've talked a little bit about. That's the Ryan Reynolds one.
Is Top Gun coming out in July?
June.
Oh, it should have come out on 4th of July.
June 26th.
That's 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty close.
Yeah.
July 3rd is Free Guy. We got Minions 2. We got
Minions too.
Minions
I
2?
would watch that. I like those
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah,
me
I
too.
like that. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That's not till July.
Tenet, which is that Christopher Nolan movie.
Have
with,
you seen the trailers for that?
Yeah.
The trailer for that? I thought it looked neat.
For which movie?
Tenet.
No, I'm going to watch them.
It was before Star Wars.
I thought it looked really neat. Like,
Yeah, it was interesting. It's like a timey-wimey thing.
yes, I'm in for timey-wimey stuff.
Disney's Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt. I bet you that's a good movie.
she's
I
in
bet
it-
you that'll
she's
get
in
a
it, I'm all for
solid
it.
36%.
It's
Rotten
the
Tomatoes score.
Pirates of the Caribbean, because they made a franchise off that ride, so now they want to make a franchise off the Jungle Cruise ride.
Oh, Jungle Cruise is a ride?
Yes, Jay.
Yeah.
It's a famous ride at Disney
Hey, have
World.
you not been to Disney World yet?
One time in my life.
You're a horrible
Twice,
father.
I think.
You are horrible. You should take your children to Disney World today.
In July,
You gotta take out a loan to go there.
that's not true. It's not
So
that
expensive.
It's really not. It's
Well,
only-
to
it's
the
only
one
6-7
one
grand.
percenters, it's not.
It's like $400
I mean-
a person for a week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
It's
have
not
an
true.
espresso, but
That
it's-
is what it costs for
Jerry?
tickets.
For tickets, that's not including anything else.
I just was in this argument the other day, so let me follow it through to its logical conclusion. If you're willing to go somewhere else for a week on vacation,
We don't.
you've never gone on a vacation.
Yeah, we went to Iowa.
That's not a vacation. That's fucking Iowa.
It was our vacation.
So you've never gone on any sort of vacation ever, where you've stayed in a hotel.
with our entire family? I don't think so.
Man,
God Lord.
No,
cheap son of a bitch.
I don't. With our entire family. I mean, we went to Wisconsin Dells, but that wasn't for a week.
That doesn't count.
I mean, it counts
like
because that's
for-
expensive.
Yeah, it was.
That's probably just as expensive as Disney.
I agree with you. I've been to Disney
But I'm not
with
gonna.
you.
I can't go to Disney for like a Friday, Saturday.
Well, you
Sunday.
can, but
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm not going
here's
to.
the deal.
It's not
Here's
worth
the deal.
money.
If you're going on a vacation for a week, say, the hotels cost about the same as what hotels cost about everywhere.
They're more expensive.
Not-
Tell the
No.
truth.
Actually, you can stay in a value hotel for $100 a night on Disney property.
That's
But
decent.
it's cheaper to stay off property and better.
Yeah, definitely. That's what
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
So you can do that. So yes, you're out. The tickets, which say is about $400 a person for the entire week for all your admission tickets. However, that's all your activities for the day. So whereas you go to Wisconsin Dells, say you're staying there for 5 days, because that's an average length for a Disney vacation too, would be about 5 days. But you're going to go do go-karts. That costs money. You're going to go do mini golf. That costs money. You're going to go do this. That costs money. Disney, $400 per person for the week. That includes all of your activities. That's everything that you're doing.
Everything except for food.
Food, you're going to spend food here or there. It doesn't really matter. It's the same. It's a little more expensive at Disney than it would be somewhere else. But
there's ways around it. Like we did.
You can bring food in.
Yeah,
we did.
Because we had a
You can
full
bring coolers
backpack
in.
full of snacks. We had a backpack full of snacks. And in the morning, your kids aren't hungry. So you just feed them full of granola bars and Cheetos and Cheez-Its. And then by lunchtime, they're hungry.
Yeah,
So
eat
give 'em
one meal.
Eat one meal. And then by supper time, they're shot and they don't really care what they eat. And then you go back to the house and they swim for like 20 minutes. And then the parents drink beer till we can't stand up straight because we're so tired.
And then we get up. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and do it all over
again.
No,
It's the
Sounds
greatest
silly.
vacation I've ever had.
and flights are actually really cheap to Orlando. So comparatively,
They're
going,
not.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they
are.
are.
You can fly from
Your
Bloomington.
cheap and my cheap are two completely
You can
different
fly
things.
round trip from Bloomington to Orlando direct for $75 round trip on Frontier Airlines.
You just can't take a whole
But you
lot of
also
shit.
have to pay for your baggage.
Okay.
So take that in
No,
consideration.
that is
What
not
do you
true.
consider cheap for an airline ticket?
That is not
That's
true.
cheap, but you still
Frontier-
have to pay for your baggage.
No,
Okay.
that-
Like Southwest, you don't have to pay for your bags.
That is included, but anything over 50 pounds,
no, it's not.
pay.
You got to pay for your bags.
no, you have to
But
pay
it's-
for your bags no matter what.
It's
Southwest is the only one that doesn't charge
$30
that.
per bag
Right.
each way. No, $25 per bag each way. So if you bring 2 bags, you're at $50 each way. So you're at $100 for baggage fees and $75 a ticket round trip. That's dirt cheap.
That's cheap, Jared.
Anywhere you slice it.
Yeah, no, that is
Free
pretty cheap.
So-
free parking in Bloomington.
So
by the
3
way.
hours.
But
3
that
hours,
changes all the time, so that might be the time you looked at it.
So 3 hours in a
It's
plane.
not like that all the time.
I mean, I've looked at it 3 different times. It's been that price.
Really?
Yeah.
$75.
Oh, right. Take that away. You want to fly Southwest? It's about
it's-
$175 round trip from Midway, so Southwest, and that includes baggage.
3 hours
Seems so
flying
expensive.
or 18 hours driving.
Or
take
you
your
can
pick.
drive.
Yeah,
Which
we
Chris has
could.
done. Chris did it last
I've
vacation.
done it. Yeah, I've done it both ways. It's way better to fly.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember you talking about that
Well,
drive, and it does not.
Because you guys
sound
drove
good.
the last time because Jet was. I mean,
Last
he was
time
like-
we
he
went,
was
we
like
flew, actually.
Well, the time we went,
We drove that time.
because he was what 3-4 months old.
The only reason why we drove that time, I don't remember why we drove.
Strollers. 'Cause you had to bring all the.
Yeah, I
strollers.
just don't want to bring all the junk. And then we ended up bringing it the next time we went, and it wasn't a big deal. So
Yeah. I highly recommend Disney.
August.
we're still in July.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Morbius, the first
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Sony Spider-Man franchise movies, will be out. August is Bill and Ted Face the Music,
That I want to go see.
Yeah.
The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard,
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson.
Okay.
How are they making a sequel to a movie that wasn't that,
I don't know.
like, didn't make any money?
Because Ryan
Ryan Reynolds?
went, I want to make this movie. They went, okay.
Yep.
It was
that's
a
why.
moderate hit at the box office. Okay. Monster Hunter with Paul Anderson script with Mia Jovovich and
Okay.
Ron Perlman. I don't know what that is.
Ron Perlman.
I like Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. You piqued my curiosity.
The Conjuring, The King's Man,
Yeah, that's
Another Kingsman.
another
That's a
Kingsman
prequel.
movie. Yeah,
It's a prequel to the.
the Kingsman
first two?
franchise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's how they started.
Let's see where we at. October. Nothing exciting there. Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Is that the remake?
Yeah, that's a G.I. Joe movie.
I was just gonna say, is
Oh.
that a GI Joe thing?
Yep. November we got The Eternals and Godzilla versus Kong.
Really?
We also have
I am a sucker for those movies.
we do got a couple big ones in December.
Godzilla movies, man, I like them.
We got Denis Villeneuve
Villanueva.
making Dune in December.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Very excited
I
about
am
that.
100% in for that.
And
Yep,
listen
we'll
to
be
this
there.
cast. All right. Timothy Chalamet, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, and Zendaya.
is
for
all
Dune?
are all in that movie.
Yeah.
In Dune?
I wonder who's
I like
playing
all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave
I mean,
Bautista is like,
I don't know who.
I love Batista, man.
They also are making an Uncharted movie with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
Ooh, like the
Mark
video game?
Wahlberg
Like the video
falls
game
right
series.
into
Oh
that.
shit, yeah.
We got Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall.
They're
Okay.
remaking
I
it?
knew that.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that a long time ago.
I'm in for that. That's it. That's all. The Croods too. Forget it.
I like the Croods.
No Star
Nicolas
Wars this
Cage.
year, huh? Well,
Nope. No Star
and
Wars.
just one Marvel movie.
2.
Black Widow. What's the second?
Black Widow.
Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals. Yeah.
That's right. Is that in May?
The Eternals?
Yeah.
November.
November. Oh, I was way off.
May is Black Widow.
May is Black Widow. Okay. I got to write something down real quick. Sorry.
All
Continue.
right, so that's it. No, that's all of them. That's next year in movie things to look forward to. What else you got, Jerry?
I'm writing something down. I was going to get into what I was watching real quick. Or
Okay.
I just remembered what I was watching, so I wanted to write it down before I forgot.
Okay, write it down and start talking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, it was a movie.
We'll
It's
get
a-
to you, dude, because when you do what you're watching, we can talk about Star Wars again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we do have to go over that with you.
Okay.
So I saw on HBO they came out with 2 new movies. One of them was Hellboy, and one of them was Detective Pikachu.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched both of them last night.
Oh, I haven't seen Hellboy. We talked about
Don't waste
Detective
your- don't
Pikachu. I
waste your
talked it
fucking
on
time.
the show.
Did you?
Mhm.
I don't
I
remember.
reviewed it a little bit.
Don't waste your time with Hellboy.
Turns out you're right.
It's bad, huh?
I mean,
Fucking horrible.
I would not say it was horrible. I like what's that guy's name?
The actor's great.
Yeah, David Harbour.
Yes.
I like him as Hellboy. It's not quite the same as Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is Hellboy to me just because he was the first one to do it, and I think he looks good and acts like I think Hellboy should act. David Harbour did a good job, but the movie just doesn't do well.
Yep.
It doesn't flow very well. It's kind of weird.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's very like sporadic and all over the place. I just
I
didn't
thought it
do
was odd. Did they
lot of
portray him as a teenager?
Hellboy?
Yeah.
No.
No. It picks
Because
up.
they kind of is, right? He's like younger. He's portrayed younger in like the books. And they kind of do that with Ron Perlman, which never
Yeah.
made sense.
No, they show like the beginning of Hellboy, like him being created into the thing, into who he was. But I didn't really take it as him being a teenager. I guess.
I just,
No.
he's kind of an adolescent.
The spirit guide, well, whatever her name
Can't
was.
remember her name.
Where she pukes out the ghost.
Yeah,
If that could have went away.
right. Could have done. Didn't need that.
You know,
It sounds like a Suicide Squad moment.
no,
Like
don't.
random witch.
Yeah,
It's like I was
similar.
watching it. I'm like, okay, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And so I wasted an hour and a half or 2 hours, where it was in my life. I'm like, wow.
There's
I
some
should've shut
cool
that off.
scenes, just like
Yeah.
with any movie. There's some cool scenes, and I like some of the stuff Hellboy does. But
Cool scenes. I have a hard time holding stuff together anymore for me.
It didn't hold it together. So yeah, nobody needs to watch that movie. It's on HBO right now. If you have HBO, you can watch it.
But I'm so time limited, so I
Don't.
spend my precious time on it.
no.
Don't.
Detective Pikachu was better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun movie.
I liked the premise of
I mean,
it.
I would never watch it if you weren't going to watch it with your kids or something.
So Graham saw it last night. I was with Graham by myself. I was surprised that he even would want to watch it. He's really into just anything animated, basically.
Yeah.
Real life stuff he is not interested in. I think he
kind
just
of
noticed
animated-y.
Pikachu and thought he knows what that character is because the boy's big into Pokemon and whatnot. So I think he saw that and wanted to watch it. He fell asleep right away because he was super tired anyways. And this was at 9:00 and he fell asleep. And it caught my attention and I started watching it.
It's a good movie.
I had no
How about the
problems
ending?
with it.
Great ending.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so
It has I'm not going to spoil it, but
yeah,
it's
I was just
going
going to say I'm not going to spoil it.
spoilery, pretty good ending.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, when I stopped the movie, I was like, I'm glad I watched that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, it's nothing I don't need to rewatch it.
No,
I probably will.
I don't think I
because-
would watch it if my kids weren't into watching it.
Because I know Grady will want to watch it. Once I tell Grady it's on there, we'll watch it again. But it was worth the watch.
It's
at the time.
rewatchable too. I've seen it several times. Cash has watched
Have
it
you?
many
Oh
times.
yeah.
I
Yeah, it
don't
was
ever
good.
like sit down and I kind of just catch bits and pieces.
Yeah,
I gotcha. No, it's pretty good. I liked the very opening because I guess I didn't think about it being in the Pokemon world. I didn't think about them living with Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Right.
I knew nothing about the movie, really. I never followed into what it was about or
And
anything.
frankly, I don't really know anything about Pokemon.
I don't
And you
either.
don't really need to.
But I liked the fact that right in the beginning that he's like, there's a Pokemon out in this field. He's like, you got to go get it. He's like, but remember, it needs to choose you too.
Right.
So he throws this ball and bonks it off its head, and then it sucks him up into the ball. And he's like, I got it. It worked. And then it's like flashing orange. He's like, it's not flashing green. Why is it not flashing green? Is it supposed to flash green? And then he tells him to run away. He starts running. It blows up, and the thing comes out running after him, hits him with a bone in the knee.
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny.
It
I was
was
like,
funny.
that's pretty good. And then it runs away like laughing. I thought that was cool. Because
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize that it had to choose you too, and it can bust out of the ball because anything I've ever seen of Pokemon, you just catch them in the ball.
Have you not played Pokemon Go? They bust out of the balls all the time. It's
Oh, really?
obnoxious.
No, I've never ever played it. Don't want to. Don't care to.
Is that
Will
still
never.
a thing?
I don't know. It used to be when Cash was in preschool.
Yeah.
Because there was a Pokestop at his daycare.
Yep.
So we'd always go a little bit early so he could catch stuff at the Pokestop. And then I'd drop him off at preschool, and then I'd get there a little bit early to pick him up. And I would go on the other side of the church and do the Pokestop and catch a couple Pokemon and then come over and pick him up for him.
For him, right.
Yeah.
Hey, Cash, look.
I'm playing this game for you, Cash.
No, it's
okay.
I was because
Cash,
it's a
you're not
super
doing it right.
boring game.
You're not doing it right,
There's
Cash.
like no point to the game at all.
Why did it take the world by storm then?
I don't know. I think
It's
it's just
so
one of those
boring.
things like it hits like the parts of the brain, the reward centers of the brain
Yeah, I guess so.
for like catching things. Just like slot machines kind of
Oh,
hit
yeah.
those reward centers.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else are you watching?
So I finished a little show called The Witcher.
You finished it?
Finished
I'm
it.
not.
Oh, you haven't
I'm not
finished
even
it?
close.
Where you at?
Oh.
Did you finish it too?
Yeah.
Holy
I
cow.
fucking been watched.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm on
Huge Witcher
episode
fan.
like 4 or 5.
Oh man, you're missing
Well, I had
out,
a- I had
bro.
a
Here's
plan.
what happened to me. First of all, the holidays, I haven't watched anything. And then, like, right when I was able to start watching stuff again, I got Jedi Fallen Order,
Yeah,
which we'll talk about later.
See, and that's what I need to get.
No.
Get it.
What do you mean no?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Well-
Well,
No, I mean, I love it. Get it. It's just like, it's such a time suck.
yeah, I'm ready for a time suck though. What's something like that?
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so The Witcher is
The 4 episodes I've seen, or 5, I think 5. I'm just,
Coin to your Witcher.
throw a coin to your Witcher, a valley of plenty, a valley of plenty. Oh, it's a good
You haven't
song.
seen that yet.
So
I don't
what?
know. I don't
Oh
remember.
my!
Yeah, one of my favorite bands of all time. It's a really heavy metal, like screaming band. It's called Trivium. I listen to them all the time. Their lead singer, he's big on Twitch, and he's been remaking that song because a lot of people thought he was the voice singing it because it sounds very similar to him. He's like, no, I didn't. He's like, but I'm gonna remake it because I love that show and I love that game. So he's been on Twitch doing every part on his own and remaking it into like a metal song. It's awesome. I spent literally 30 minutes today watching him sing that song over
I'm gonna
and
tell you,
over and over again.
like I said,
that song is. I mean, if you're a Witcher fan, I mean, like.
So when I first
played all
heard
the
it-
games, I was like, wow. I first heard the same thing. I'm like, I listened to it multiple
Well,
times.
when I first heard it, I was like, that's kind of corny, you know? But then when I heard him singing it, I was like,
well, then you
I love this song now.
you see why it's so
and,
popular. Yeah.
and my tie into the show. Like I
Yeah.
just,
I don't know, but it's like, it's such a
Use
good
that-
show.
You should use that as a
show.
post credits.
Do you think it'll
Oh,
catch
yeah.
hold with the public?
I don't.
I don't
No.
think so either.
To be honest, I don't. And that's what I was
it's
going to
very
get into.
inside baseball.
So
Yeah.
what I was going to get into is that it is a little bit, sporadic too.
Yeah.
The way the show is.
Yeah, because
But
You can't hold it down to one thing.
there's
They-
a couple people that I've talked to,
they tie it in.
women that I've talked to that
very well.
aren't into watching anything like that, and they've watched that. They love it.
It reminds me of like what you said, where it feels like a game
It does. It feels like a video game.
where you go from side quest to side quest to side quest and then meet up in the main quest and
Yes.
continue.
That's what it is.
It amazes
perfect,
me.
Perfect.
It amazes me that they could pull that off.
It's an
and do it.
amazing show.
It was sometimes it was a little aggravating because I was like, why where does she play into this, and why are they doing this, and how's it all going to come together? It does.
Now
It takes some
I've heard.
time.
I'm in the thick of it right now. It's extremely confusing.
It
They
is
jump all
very
around
confusing.
time. and
Well, you don't realize they're jumping around time till about episode 4
4 or 5.
Four, yeah.
And you're like, wait a second.
you go, oh fuck.
This is like 60 years in the past.
Yes, that's the part I didn't like. I didn't care for it
A lot of
until
people
it
don't like that.
until it pays off towards until you start knowing what's going on towards the end. But I don't know. I freaking love Henry Cavill as Geralt.
He's brilliant in that role.
My gosh,
I didn't know
he's
he was that-
so good.
It's Geralt.
Geralt. Didn't I say that?
No.
Did I say Geralt?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Gerald, so
That's okay. You guys
I'm
make
just
fun
trying
of me all
to-
the time, so I had to do it once.
I know you're right.
No, I just didn't know he was capable of being that good at acting.
And the
I-
fight scenes.
Yeah.
The fight scenes
Incredible.
are phenomenal. I mean, they are very well choreographed. I mean, it feels very real.
I really like that Yennefer too.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, I like her.
She's muy buena.
She's very nice.
The one thing I don't
They definitely
I wouldn't say
exploit
I-
her assets
Yeah.
quite a bit. Anyway,
they kind of threw some racial people in there just because the game is predominantly white people based because it's supposed to be in Polish type
yeah.
because the guy's Polish who wrote it. And
So
not a lot of
I talked about this a couple shows ago, but this movie is based before the game. It's based on
the books.
the first two short
The Last
story
Wish.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which like the Witcher game, like the Witcher 3, I guess, is way after all of this already happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just
Sure.
wanted to make sure you knew that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's why a lot of people could say I've only played the Witcher games and think it has nothing to do with any of that
So-
because it technically doesn't. It's happening well before any of those happen.
So I had this big plan. I bought all the books on my phone to read, and they're actually on my iPad too. And I had this big plan to read them all.
And they're all in Polish.
No, yes, that's why I didn't read them.
It's like
Yeah.
Biso do so.
I only speak, Slovak, not Polish.
Oh,
It's kinda
okay.
Screwed. No, I got through the first book, and Fallen Order came along, and
Yeah.
and then
You lost your
everything-
life.
Yeah. Well, no, just life in general happened.
I get
Such a
it.
time suck that game.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near as far as you are.
No.
Either, so
So finish The Witcher though.
yes,
I am done. That is my new priority.
Yeah.
Is The Witcher. I only got like 4 more episodes, so
It-
because there's only 8, right?
yeah,
Yes.
they get predominantly like
3 more episodes.
the last
Oh,
one.
you
they-
finished 5?
So
I think I finished 5. I can't really remember. I'd have to go back and look.
Have you seen a dragon?
that's 5.
No.
6.
That's 6.
Not seen a dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets better after the 6th one.
Okay.
The last 2 are phenomenal.
Well, I think all of the first ones are phenomenal. I've really enjoyed them greatly.
Have you
Yes.
been to the wedding? Not the wedding feast. Yeah.
Yeah, with the queen and
Yeah.
the
That was 4. Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like back in time.
No.
Yes, it's back in time.
It's not,
It is. Yes, yes
Back
it is.
in time.
It is back in time.
See, that's the whole thing. It's all.
It's back in time because then
so
it
like
jumps
how they-
forward.
Yeah. So like
after
how
that.
they all kind of all of a sudden you realize that that's his prequel. This is where they're at.
Yeah,
and,
because
you know,
it's like the girl's grandma,
yeah.
but she's like the
The one thing that bothered me about this show, about the only thing that bothered me about the show, is that everybody he's around. So Witchers are like looked down upon, obviously, because they're kind of like freaks,
Among
you
the
know.
mutants.
But all these like random guys are just like, can't wait till I can kill the Witcher or I can kill the Grey Wolf. Well, really, dude? Like, you know what he's done. Like, everybody's like, oh, this Great Wolf or Grey Wolf guy. Like,
White Wolf.
is it White Wolf? Anyway, whatever they call it, the Wolf guy.
yeah, but
the Witcher,
it's
like
skipping
all
around
these
time.
monsters.
So I think maybe there's periods of time where they're really looked down on, and then there's periods of time.
Well, he
where
doesn't become
he's already-
famous. He
yeah.
doesn't become famous till after the wedding. Oh, so before he's the butcher of Blaviken, which he's really not a butcher of Blaviken.
Right.
He doesn't become very, very popular till after the wedding feast, where he saves the prince. Who?
But every person that has met him has
So I
known
got-
of
so I
him
got-
doing something
Yeah. So I got plenty of spoilers if you guys want
Like-
to know the rest of the story.
big time.
No, I don't.
Not at all.
Okay.
It just like everybody knows of his, like what he's been doing, and everybody's like, man, you've been doing so many monster hunting crazy things. And then there's always this one guy like, meh, I could take him. No, you cannot. No, you can't.
Who are you? Like, you literally just murdered 6 people in front of you, and you're going to stand there up against a rock like, yeah, just waiting my time to take out the Witcher. Shut up. Like, that's not real. You're not going to. Go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
It's you.
Oh, I was looking at you now. Do you want to talk about something?
Hey, quick break.
Gosh.
Yes, I do want to talk about something. I want to talk about the fact that The Witcher has 60% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you joking? I hate critics.
But it was at like 40-something percent like when it first came out. So that's improved, A. And B, because honestly, I could get it. The first episode was a little like, what's this going to be?
Yeah,
but I thought the first episode was pretty strong.
It was at the second half.
Yes. Second half, definitely.
Anyway, 93% audience score.
Okay, that makes sense.
Only 67 critic reviews, 15,545 audience score. So if you like anything to do with like what kind of swords and sorcery?
Yeah, it's kind of like
you'll like The
Willow.
Yeah.
Kind of like Game of Thronesy.
Game of Thrones and Willow mixed.
Just not a lot-
because Willow's got like
Just not a lot of incest.
mages and
Yeah, like Game of Thronesy, but like less political drama.
Yeah.
And less like Game of Thrones is very what do you call like a soap opera-y kind of.
Drama.
yes, it is.
Drama.
Witcher's less of that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of
more like
soap
story
opera just-
forward
Yeah.
and definitely more action forward.
It's like Jerry
Yeah.
said that Chris has the perfect. It's like playing a video game where every episode is a side quest,
and you're watching the cutscenes.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Which is why the video games are so awesome.
Yeah. I think it was recently voted like #1. Witcher 3 is like considered on a lot of lists as the greatest video game ever made.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, it's up there.
I never played it all the way through. I played a lot of it.
I never
but
played it all the way through either, just because I quit. Because
I'm going to start it again though. I've made a commitment.
You don't have enough time in your life.
I'm going to do it.
You don't. I mean, I
It's
skipped.
such a
I
time
just
suck.
quit playing Gwent because I just stopped all that because I didn't have freaking time.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's huge.
I did every
Such a
single-
huge game.
I did everything except the Gwent, everything, and that's fucked up my.
Life.
No, not so much my life. My
You're back.
my 100% finish because I didn't get one card from the Bloody Baron, which screwed me on that achievement. Which I'm an achievement whore.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you?
I don't know.
I am.
You got to get all the achievements.
I get a lot of them.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like. I'm not like that. I'm just like, let's get through this.
I don't care about achievements, but I do like. There's certain things that I like to get everything with, like anything that like character builds a character.
Oh, sure.
You know, I like to go out of my way to find that stuff. I don't care about like the Xbox achievements.
Yeah.
You
That's-
know, but like
Do you?
like for example on the Arkham games, like I
don't
like to
even
get the
pay
Riddler
attention.
trophies. You
Yeah.
know?
The Riddler
But
trophies
that's not
are
an
something
achievement.
Well,
Yeah,
it is at
achievements
the
are-
end.
How do you even get all the achievements? There's so many achievements. Like they have the achievements sometimes for the stupidest thing.
People do it.
Like
I-
sometimes you'll look at a painting and it'll be like painting achievement satisfied.
Well,
You're like,
You're right.
what?
well, there's. Did you get the achievement in Fallen Order for throwing people off cliffs?
Oh yeah, man.
You should have, because
Yeah.
that's all you do is throw people off
Throw
cliffs.
a lot of people off cliffs, dude.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's way easier that way.
Turns out we stand by a lot of cliffs for some reason.
Yeah, there's cliffs everywhere. That game
Like,
is.
everywhere.
Might as well call it Jedi Cliffs.
Cliffhanger.
That-
Jedi.
It might as
edition.
well be called that. That is what the game is.
That's kind of funny.
Jedi Cliffhanger. That's an
So-
apt description.
So did you
Okay.
spoil the end for me? Oh, I know you haven't finished it yet, have you?
No, I'm like right there. I didn't even know what's going to happen. I'm already past the point where I know exactly what's going to happen.
So can we spoil another show?
Well, no.
We haven't spoiled
Why?
the show
You
yet.
didn't spoil Witcher, so
No, but we have a show to spoil. We
What's
haven't.
that?
Well, the last episode of Snarf Talk, we have not seen the last 2 episodes of
The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Mendo.
And now we have finished it. The season is over.
We must talk in British accent.
Everything
I
is
can't.
dead.
Talk about the Mandalorian.
None of them are British.
But they all have British accents,
No, they
except
don't.
for the
They don't.
Mandalorian.
No, they don't.
A bunch of them do.
Who?
Who? Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah, you're
has a
right. They
British.
don't really have British accents.
Did
I
Nick
mean, maybe Canadian.
Did
but
Nick
not, you know.
Nolte have a British accent?
I have spoken.
No, they're
I
like,
need another cigarette.
they're like, guys, we need to find Nick Nolte on a Saturday night. Have him record.
Yeah. He's like bellied up at EJ Cars.
Yeah.
Go get fuzz. We need fuzz.
Get Nick Nolte. Get him real fucked up. Let's have him record this show.
No, yeah, okay. Well, spoilers ahead. I know you guys have had like 2 or 3 weeks though, so.
Yeah, there's been plenty of
You
time.
haven't
It's
seen the
all
last
over, but-
episode of Mandalorian.
So in the vein of The Witcher, where I think like it's some people are gonna miss it, it's just not for everybody. Everybody's watching The Mandalorian.
Everybody is. And
People that I know for a fact do not even like Star Wars are loving The Mandalorian.
Really?
Yes.
It's great.
Wow. So I just
I think
saw
it's going
a
to bring
report.
a lot of new fans in.
I saw a report today that Disney Plus is losing subscribers out the wazoo
Well-
right now because Mandalorian's over.
To be honest, they're dumb.
nothing.
Because there's nothing out. Like
They should have had so much in the pipe to start releasing, like at episode 6 or 7 of The Mandalorian before it was over.
There should
Start
be a
releasing
Marvel show
new
on right now.
shows.
Yeah, they need something.
I don't know what
They
they were
don't
thinking.
understand like the way that Netflix does it. It's nonstop hitting you with new content.
That you have to do that because then you will lose subscribers until a new show comes out. If you want people to stay on your app and watch the shit that's on there,
I think that they thought it was good enough to have the whole back catalog of Disney property.
Yeah,
I think what
I
they
agree.
failed, and that'll keep a lot of people.
it will.
But there's a lot of people, you hear it online. People are like, oh, everybody's going to drop it. That's not true. Not everybody's going to drop it. They're going to lose some. But, first of all, I
no,
paid-
not
I
everybody,
paid
but
for
a lot
3
of people
years in
have.
advance,
Yeah,
so
I paid
Right.
for it.
So did I, and got a year for free.
yeah. They don't
Same
care.
here.
They're not in that mode
No,
right now.
No.
Right.
They're in we're going to see how many subscribers we can get over a 5-year period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their metric isn't the first year or the first 6 months.
Well,
shouldn't
and they're going to have so many subscribers. I mean, they have
And second
probably
of all,
already do.
it's completely irrelevant to them because
Irrelevant?
they got 10. They probably got by this point. They probably already have 20 or 30 million subscribers.
Oh, I guarantee you.
Even if they're discounted half of them.
They've been losing millions in the last week.
What do you mean losing millions?
People are canceling their subscription.
But millions, who cares? It's irrelevant.
Irrelevant?
It's irrelevant to them.
I mean,
So you guys saying
I don't
elephant?
know.
Irrelevant.
No, irrelevant.
You guys are saying elephant.
No, it doesn't matter though. This is not the game they're playing.
No, it's a long
And they
game.
have
but
billions of dollars.
I know they really don't give
Really
a shit.
They don't.
And they have 1 or 2 pieces of original content.
And honestly,
How much do you think Mandalorian cost them to make? Because I guarantee you it did not cost them $100
Not
million
much.
to make that.
No. Well, then you got.
It's
And
a
regardless,
nice looking
like-
show, but it's not like it looks like it's super expensive.
So what is the original content? Mandalorian, the Jeff Blowgoom experience, which I couldn't get past the first episode.
Man, that's a rough watch.
I never even got.
I
watched
tried to go back to it the other day.
They
I'm
should
like,
not
you know
have
what?
him looking at sneakers
There's a Kristen
as,
Bell
as
show.
the first fucking show.
Oh, it gets. That's one of the better episodes.
That's one of the better episodes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's rough. I
I'm
went
glad-
back the other day and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch the video game. He's just so awkward with the
Yeah.
people that he's trying to talk to. There's this one on barbecue when he goes down south with like these pit masters, and he walks up to them and they're like out in the woods barbecuing, drinking beer and stuff, and he's just like standing around all of them. He goes, "Have you ever?" He goes, and then he looks around at him and he goes, "You guys ever seen Deliverance? Feel like I'm in Deliverance right now." I'm like,
Wow,
that's really awkward.
Yeah, you've been kept in a bubble for a
Like
long
you
time.
really just
Yeah.
called them all hillbillies. That
Yeah, that
Yeah.
butt.
yeah.
You know,
Anyway,
get it in the butt.
and he was joking clearly, but still,
Yeah,
it
for
just
sure, but
Didn't
that's-
come off like.
That's not funny.
No.
But anyway,
Not
I
at all.
think he's funny in it. It's just not that interesting of a show. So anyway, to your question, there's Mandalorian. There's that Noel Christmas show.
Encore, but with Kristen Bell.
I don't know. I've never seen that one.
I've never watched it, but I keep seeing it pop up. I don't know.
And a
what
bunch
it
of
is.
documentaries, but that's about it. Not much. They
No.
should be launching a Marvel show right now.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. They should have had Falcon and
And once
Winter
they
Soldier ready to
do,
go.
they're going to
But
have
those shows
a
aren't slated
bajillion
till
more
like
people.
2021.
I know.
Yeah, it's not till next
Well, then
year.
you got Obi-Wan slated for 2022. The guy from
They got a long ways to go.
Something Cass.
Cassian Endor.
Oh
Cassian
yeah.
Andor.
Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
Which that
Andor
that,
or
Andor.
Andor. Yeah.
that looks pretty cool though. I mean,
I'm
yeah,
in for
I'm
that.
in for that big time.
For sure.
yeah,
And
If
the
you like
Obi-Wan.
Rogue One, you'll like Jedi Fallen Order. Just so you know.
Really?
yeah, I agree with that.
Mandalorian. So we're talking about Mandalorian.
Yes. So
I
last two
really
episodes.
enjoyed the last two episodes. I specifically enjoyed the last episode,
Yep.
which was full of drama and tension and
Easter eggs.
everything, Easter eggs and everything that you want about Star Wars and just continually don't get.
Right. And this gave it to you big time. And I like the whole sequence
An
of them
old-fashioned
being,
standoff.
Yeah, I like them being caught and thinking like it's over. I loved how Mando gets like injured, and then the robot or like the droid that he's
IG.
talking to.
IG, yeah, he's so great.
Golly, they're talking to each other, and he's like, "I've never taken my helmet off in front of a human, like a living being before," and he's like, "I'm not a living being."
I am not a living being.
And then he takes
Taika Waititi, right?
Yeah, and then he
So
just
good.
takes his helmet off, and it's Taika Waititi directed the last episode.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a little odd, that moment. We didn't look quite right
Well, I think
for
he.
the Mandalorian.
Why? Well, I
don't
never
know.
understood that.
I mean,
like,
what
what
did
did
you
you think that he
expect?
didn't look
No,
right?
man, it just looked odd.
Well, how
Well,
would you
see-
look after wearing a helmet forever?
So I.
I mean, you know what I mean?
So I was surprised by that ending with IG.
Yeah.
I sent you guys that comic book. If you read it, that particular droid model will sit in the depths or off the side for years to collect his prey. So I really thought that he was the one that killed Nick Nolte.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so that's where I thought they were going to go, and he was going to betray him, and he was going to steal Baby Yoda.
Yeah, because you don't know where he goes at that time. I didn't think
I
that.
figured that was what was going to
no,
happen.
what that the droid was going to come,
Yeah.
be a nurse droid.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
see
no.
it coming. I didn't.
I thought he was
No,
going to
they
kill the
tell you.
stormtroopers.
You find out that he's a nurse droid before any of that ever happens, and then he kind of disappears,
Yeah.
and then they
Gets
get
told to stay on the ship.
yeah, they get trapped, and then I didn't see him coming back to rescue Baby Yoda.
Which
I didn't see him doing that.
I really thought that he's the one that killed.
What did you think about the very controversial Jason Sudeikis?
I thought it was. I rewatched it last night.
What was
Hilarious.
What was controversial about it?
people didn't like the fact that that they were portraying the stormtroopers like with a sense of humor or that much humanity to them. I guess.
Why?
People also.
It was great because they sit there, they're shooting at a can and they
Yeah,
can't hit
They
it.
and they
didn't
never
like that
hit it,
either.
yeah.
Which-
they didn't
which-
like it poking fun at the old Star Wars joke.
Who's
of,
precious at Stormtrooper?
It's great.
I
It's
thought so,
awesome because
too.
if they were really like military,
is kind of
people,
odd,
from a
though,
guy
right?
who was in the army. They should have killed the heroes of these movies a long time ago.
Why is it odd?
Okay, first of all, this is when this movie takes place post
Revenge of the
Return of the Jedi.
5 years.
Okay. So we're still on clone stormtroopers, right?
No,
Not
they're gone.
necessarily.
No,
How do you know that?
because the clone stormtroopers were phased out directly after they were phased out except for Darth Vader's 501st directly after the last battle. So as soon as the Emperor took over, they were all phased out.
I don't know if that's true.
It is. Look it up.
Okay. So they're
I have no idea.
recruited
Wikipedia.
stormtroopers at that point?
No, they're all phased out.
Yeah, but who are the stormtroopers then?
They're all recruited.
They're all people that have been taken over, just like Finn and.
No, they're not kids. They're all recruits. They're all people signed up to be stormtroopers.
Ah, come on.
Look it up. It's in Wikipedia.
Okay, anyway, because that's what disparity I always didn't like is that
I didn't think of
in
them
the
all being-
prequels and in the cartoons.
they're clones.
The clones they're badass warriors,
Yeah.
right? They're like the best of the best fighting force.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
you know what
Jango.
they
And then, like-
they're Jango Fett.
And then it turns, and then they're stormtroopers, and then they're,
Well, do you know
terrible.
why they call them stormtroopers?
The problem.
No.
Because they storm the area and they just keep storming. They just keep sending thousands and stuff.
Like ants.
They're ants. They're cannon fodder. Is what they are.
Yeah.
That's why they're stormtroopers.
I
And when you
don't
get
know.
to the purge troopers and the death troopers, they're a little higher quality.
I agree.
Anyway, I thought
think
it was
that's
funny.
true.
I thought it was
So-
funny, and I spent the entire time listening. I'm like, who is that?
Yeah, I did.
And then
the
at
same
the very
thing.
end, I'm like, Jason Sudeikis.
See, I I couldn't figure it out. So after the next morning, after I heard who it was, I went back and watched it last night.
I figured it out because I'm like,
oh my god, this is
driving me
hilarious.
crazy.
I had to realize what he's doing. He's like, no.
oh, they didn't like him
And-
punching the baby Yoda either.
That was hilarious. Shut up, whack.
I thought that was pretty good. Honestly, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And the other stormtrooper's like, "You've just punched it 2 times. How do we know it's not dead?" And
What's
I thought that was
who
funny.
was the other stormtrooper?
Oh crap! I forgot.
I saw an article that said who both of them were, but the other guy wasn't. It's that the nerdy guy with the fro, black. He's a black guy, fro, glasses. He's like a nerd.
Oh, like the British guy?
Yes.
Oh, that's in the IT show.
Yep. That guy.
Okay, I like that guy.
Yeah, that guy's the other one.
Okay.
But
Well, anyway,
it was-
the rest of that episode was great. I loved the Breaking Bad dude's character,
He's great.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I like the payoff with which we all knew it was coming of Baby Yoda doing some sort of force
Yeah.
something, and he blocks a whole flamethrower guy coming in the door. He just like keeps the flame away. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, and like you really like get a connection with IG-88, and as he sacrifices himself,
Absolutely.
and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Why do I have to give a shit about this guy
Yeah.
too?
Exactly.
God damn it.
It reminded me of Terminator 2, honestly, because he gets down into the lava and he's like melting away. I wish he would have just given a thumbs up as he was like dying, like Arnold Schwarzenegger does. Like that's what it felt like to me. And I'm like,
And
I
you know
don't
what?
need you to have a connection
think-
to you at all.
Well, that's considered a very popular movie, in pop culture.
I know.
I'm surprised that they didn't tie that part into it and do a thumbs up because
They should have. I would have loved
everything
it.
else
They
put
really
in,
should have.
I mean, the Seven Samurai, the good, bad, and the ugly, all the stuff that we've talked about before. With
Yeah.
with this particular,
But the only reason
series.
you couldn't do that is because he blew up,
which
because he was blowing up. So
Yeah.
took
if he
all-
melted away into the, the magma,
Yeah.
they
I
could have.
still get confused as why you need a lava boat
I don't know.
when they have anti-gravitational devices.
right.
well, they didn't have
Yeah, I
it
don't
on
know.
them, Chris. I mean,
I mean, they have them all over. They
No,
have speeders.
everywhere. Everything.
They have hover bikes.
Yeah.
They have everything. So why do they need a boat that literally goes in the lava and has a droid with a gigantic, obviously like
Paddle?
the river Styx.
Yeah.
It's like the river Styx.
like a gondola.
Like a gondola,
Yeah.
yes.
Like a gondola.
I don't know. I thought the same thing in Rise of Skywalker because when they were in the desert on the desert planet, they were like Rey and Finn and all them were riding anti-gravitational like speeders, and the stormtroopers that were following him had a track on the back in the sand, and I'm like, no possible way that can be as fast as something hovering.
Right.
You know,
And then you have
with-
to drive in a
with
boat.
no friction whatsoever going through just besides air, but you're going to paddle through sand and catch them and then like stop and flip a stormtrooper off. I don't know. I didn't agree with that either. Same thing with a volcano boat.
Other than it was cool looking.
It
I
was
guess
pretty
so,
cool.
yeah.
I mean, the giant R2D2 droid.
Yeah.
Astromech droid. Is
Yes, an
properly called.
astromech, which was pretty cool that he like got really big
Yeah.
in Mandalorian.
Anyway, yeah, and then it leaves off on a killer. What do you call it? Ending, cliffhanger ending.
Cliffhanger ending where he cuts out
I
of.
wouldn't say a cliffhanger. It was.
Well, yeah, you're right. Not a cliffhanger because the story's wrapped up nicely.
Yeah.
It's just a teaser going forward. The villain lives,
Yeah.
Like-
and spoilers, he's got the dark saber.
For all you Star Wars
Yes,
fans.
Moff Gideon comes out, cuts himself out of his TIE fighter or interceptor or whatever it is with the dark saber.
Yes, which is a storied Mandalorian weapon,
Correct.
which wasn't actually originally Mandalorian, right?
Yeah. No, it was Mandalorian. He's
It was created by
He's created by a Mandalorian who was Vizsla.
the only Jedi.
Not Tarf. Yar Vizsla. Sorry, it's the founder of House Vizsla
Yeah.
who gets accepted into the Jedi. He's the first Mandalorian.
Yeah, but that was his Jedi weapon.
Weapon.
Jedi
yeah.
weapon. And when he passes, the Jedi keep it because it was such an original weapon. And during the Sith Wars, they go in and steal it from the Jedi halls and bring it back to Mandalorian. And then it becomes a symbol of the Mandalorian leadership.
Yeah, and then it falls in the hands of the Death Watch.
Well, the key word there is the symbol of the Mandalorian leadership.
But it's always been part of House Vizsla.
Vizsla.
Yes.
So anybody that's held it has been part of House Vizsla of the
Well, but then it
Mandalorian.
gets taken by Death Watch.
And
Which is still part of House Vizsla.
Yes, but
no,
It is. They're part of it before.
The leader is from House Vizsla, but he is the governor of Cancor Dawn, which is a moon of Mandalore, if I remember right. God, how can I remember this shit?
I don't know. It's pretty amazing.
anyway, so eventually though, eventually Darth Maul takes over Death Watch.
Yes.
He
Yes.
kills the Mandalorian leader,
Yep.
takes over the clan, and he wields
He actually rules Mandalore for a while,
with the dark saber and
Yes.
another lightsaber.
and then Obi-Wan.
I read
runs
about
his
this.
ass out of it.
And then Obi-Wan kicks his ass. Spoilers.
Yeah.
All of this is spoilers.
Yep.
If you haven't seen the Clone Wars, which I'm rewatching now, and it's on my
That's
list.
like, well,
Here's the deal.
there's
This
another
is why I haven't.
So let's back up.
Yeah,
That's
that's fine.
that's another thing coming out on Disney Plus is
Another season.
another
yes.
season of Clone Wars.
Yeah, I read
I think
that.
it might be the best Star Wars thing.
The Lost season, because they already had it made. Dave Filoni had it done, and
No shit?
Yeah, had it wrote.
How many seasons are there of Clone Wars?
7,
6 or so.
7,
Something
6,
like
But there's like 20 some episodes each
Oh
season.
yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot.
it's huge.
That's the problem I've had is
Oh,
that
they're all like 20 minutes.
Yeah, they're really
apiece.
short.
oh they are
They're
Yeah.
20 minutes.
oh
Yeah.
I thought they were like
because
hour
they were made to
episodes.
air on TV,
Yeah.
so they're half an hour with 10 minutes of commercial breaks. So if you're streaming it, they're like 20
Oh,
minutes.
so you can chew through some
Oh
some
yeah,
episodes.
you can lay in bed before going to bed. You can chew through 4 or 5
Yeah,
episodes.
it gets repetitive.
It does
Like
a little bit.
Like there's some key episodes you need to watch, but most of the time
Okay.
it gets really repetitive.
I mean, here's the deal.
All right.
It's not
well,
all advancing the greater storyline. There's lots of individual episodes that are one-offs.
but the overall needs to be
I mean, they definitely pick up on the overall arching storyline later on in the run.
Yeah.
And you'll start to get more and more that are more specifically focused on moving story forward. That's where they changed
Okay.
when they went to Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah,
They really, really, really focused on moving an entire narrative forward
right.
Yeah.
versus like it's more, Clone Wars I think was made for all audiences. So, it was made for something that me and you could enjoy, but it was also made for something kids could watch.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like as a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't a Saturday morning. I mean, it was a little more serious than that, but still. I think where Rebels separated itself was it was definitely, I mean, while it was still considered, probably an older kids show,
Yeah.
it was definitely more.
It was definitely PG-13.
Yeah, it was more with an adult audience in mind.
Huh.
Whereas
All
the
right.
new one, Star Wars Resistance, is definitely with a younger audience in
Which
mind.
you can get you get a lot more out of Rebels than you would watching Clone Wars.
I disagree.
Really?
Disagree completely.
Yeah, you've
Because
always
so
told me
much of the.
Clone
I mean,
Wars.
I love both of them for different reasons, but no. I mean, Clone Wars chews through way more story.
Yeah, I disagree. I think the
But
story's
you get
better.
everything with Anakin. You get everything with Ahsoka. You get everything
True.
with Darth Maul, basically. I mean, I know they all make appearances in the second one. You get tons of Obi-Wan stuff. You get a lot of Yoda
Yeah.
in Clone Wars. I mean, it's great.
That's what you've always told me is that Clone Wars was
Yeah.
better than Rebels. But I started Rebels first. I've watched the first 8 episodes of Rebels so far.
I don't think it's better
8
than
episodes?
Rebels.
Oh man, you got like a ton more to go.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I've got a lot more to
seasons.
go, but
I don't think it's better than Rebels. They're just different.
Yeah.
It's one is like a more familiar Star Wars universe, and Rebels is like,
It's
oh,
very-
this is all new. This is something
Yeah.
completely different.
See,
That's
that's,
what
why
it's
I like
felt like
Rebels
to me.
better because it's original. Just like the Mandalorian is original. I like the original story. Clone Wars was there to bridge
like
the
Rogue
gap.
One.
I agree. And Clone Wars is there to bridge the gap between Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, yeah, Rebels, you definitely get the feeling like, oh, and Rogue One too in that same vein. Oh, we can do all these different things with this franchise.
Because there's a lot, like, there's 17, 18 years that passes between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. I mean, that's a long
Oh, I thought it was like
time.
20.
Well, I think Luke's supposed to be 17 or 18 in A New Hope.
yeah,
'cause he's,
something like that. 19, I think.
he's young. He's young. So 20 years that passed between the two.
Yeah,
However you wanna look
give
at
or
it.
take. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So we like the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Yes. Everybody likes
that,
the Mandalorian.
That dark
Yeah.
saber is going to be huge in the next season. I think that's going to be a key part of the next 2 seasons.
And I just can't say enough about the freaking score of the show.
Oh man!
Like the music is just so great and at the perfect times. It's just like the perfect thing is happening, and then you hear like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. It's
Yeah,
just,
and
it
there's
reminds me so much.
it gets you really fired up, man.
there's
It's
a
great-
Western feel to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
which is what they wanted. I mean,
I commented on a guy's post that I was in the army with. This was like after 6 episodes were already out, and he's like, "I'm so surprised nobody's talking about how this is just a spaghetti Western in space." And I commented on it. I was like, "Everybody understands this. Like this is the way it was portrayed
Everybody
to begin
knows,
with,
and no one cares.
like everyone said that this is what's going to happen. Like
they based the series off the spaghetti westerns.
Yes.
yeah, it was not.
yeah.
I told him, I was like, this was never hidden. Like this was what it was going to be. You know, but he's like nobody's commenting on how many tropes it's going over with the westerns, and he said something about samurai stuff. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what this is.
Well, I just feel like
it's what they wanted.
with
Of
this
course.
show and then with the cartoons, I just feel like if they're going to move forward with Star Wars movies, just nobody needs to be touching them other than Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni.
yeah,
Just
I agree.
nobody needs to be messing with it.
yeah. Let it
I'm
be
anxious to
this.
see how
And they
go
need,
ahead.
and I was going to bring this up last time and we never got around to it. They need to move on from Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh,
I agree for
just
the
give it
big
to
picture
John.
stuff.
Just give everything to John.
Yeah.
I mean,
John
everything-
Kennedy.
No, or give it to
Sorry,
No.
too soon. Too soon.
or give it to
Saloni,
no, give it to Kevin
Feige.
Eubanks,
give it to Kevin Feige.
No, give it to
Kevin Smith.
Yes.
I would say Kevin Feige or John
Kevin
Favreau.
Feige can't
to
do
Favreau.
every single show that is put out between Marvel and Star
I don't
Wars.
think he
They
needs to
can't.
do Marvel anymore. I think you just give that to the Russo
But he's already
brothers.
doing it.
You know what's he done?
It's like-
He's doing Star Wars. I mean,
Yeah.
he's signed up.
Who?
Kevin.
He is?
Yes.
Why am I
Smith?
not aware of
We've
this?
talked about it on the podcast several times.
Kevin Smith.
I don't
Kevin
have.
Feige.
Oh,
I have no
God,
memory.
we are jumping all around here.
Super confusing. Kevin Feige, the mastermind of the Marvel Universe,
Correct.
is now working on Star Wars. That is a fact.
So I got a question. So
I-
do you
I
think
probably
he's
brought
the
it up in
mastermind,
news.
or you think the Favreau started it all with Iron Man? And
Favreau?
Favreau. I can't.
No,
I can't do it.
It's
Favreau.
fava
Favreau.
beans.
Gotta hate you.
No, I definitely think it was Kevin Feige from the beginning. Well, no, I shouldn't say
No.
that. I think Jon Favreau started it with Iron Man, and then after they did that movie, they're like, we got something going on here.
Yes.
I think Kevin Feige still produced that movie, though.
Iron Man?
I think so.
Let's find out.
I guess I don't know. For sure.
I mean, he's a producer. I mean, he's not a.
Yeah, I get it. But he is the overarching mastermind of what happened. And that's widely known. He said it. Like,
Yeah,
I
he-
knew
he-
exactly where this was
he
going
plotted
to
the
begin
scripts.
with. Yeah.
He outlined, I should say.
Isn't that unbelievable? Like,
Um,
I find that completely unbelievable that one mind.
I don't think he did Iron Man, but film Iron Man. Yeah, he did Iron Man.
He produced it?
He produced all of them.
Okay, cool.
Jeez.
Now I have a
That
whole lot
dude.
more. I remember seeing that in movie theaters, and I was like the only person there, other than the date I had at the time.
Well, yeah, at the time, nobody cared about it.
I did.
Nope. Huh?
I did.
Well,
So
you
did I.
aren't everyone, Chris. I hate to break it to you, but
I'm
nobody.
like, oh my god, they're making an Iron Man movie.
Well, yeah, but most even comic book
Robert
people,
Downey Jr. How did they get him? Oh wait, he just got out of prison.
most
Certain
people,
money.
even comic book people, were like, "Iron Man, really? Like you're doing this?"
See, I loved Iron Man from a couple things. A bunch of the video games, Marvel Ultimate Alliance video games.
I didn't play that one.
I liked him in that, and then from the comics, obviously, like I was a big fan of the Civil War run in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a huge part of that, obviously. So,
Of course.
yeah, no, I mean, and there was an Iron Man movie animated before that, I think.
Okay, I'm not aware of it. You made it up.
Anyway, so yeah, I just can't believe we have to wait till October for another
But I'm just
Mandalorian.
glad.
I'm so glad they didn't drop it all in one shot.
Me too.
I am too. It made it a lot better. I've been such a proponent of like give me all of
think
it
I'm
at once
over
because
that.
I've enjoyed it so much. But
I think I'm
agree with
over
you.
it across the board.
I agree.
I like the weekly installments because it gives me something to look forward to. 'cause
And you don't
And it
ruin
brings-
it all super fast by being like, I'm going to watch them all tonight.
And you hold subscribers.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
I
hold
really think it's
subscribers to
important
see
because-
everything else.
You're not meant to consume entertainment that takes somebody years to make like that
In 8 hours.
in an instant.
Yeah, but
People are watching.
I know
that.
you've done it.
Oh, for sure I've done
All
it.
of
know
us.
you've done it.
All of us
I
have
do
done
it.
it. But
I do it.
But I agree. Like in 8 hours, you can watch everything somebody has put together that took longer than big budget motion picture movies.
Right.
It took them 4 times longer to put this all together and create because it's an 8-hour movie.
And then you just burn through it while you're sitting on your couch like a lump. And you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, give me some more.
eating Cheetos.
naked
and,
in a beanbag.
yeah. And just scooping cottage cheese out of a bucket.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what we do as
Sounds great.
Americans.
With
Smoking
Fritos.
weed.
Get some Fritos.
With
scoops.
Fritos. Eat that
Maybe
shit.
put some
Big-
sriracha in that
huge
cottage
bag
cheese.
of weed. Yeah, hell yeah.
Did I
Man,
just
that would
invent
be
something?
good. Yeah, that would be good.
Sriracha cottage cheese with Fritos?
Maybe a little bit of dill pickle relish.
I remember I came home one night after.
How
a
about
bender.
that?
I came home one night after a bender after being at my mom and dad's house, and they had this big tub of cottage cheese. I remember taking the tub out, and eating the whole thing with saltine crackers
And getting sick as hell.
And
You had to
a
have.
month later when he pooped.
Yeah, but if you're that loaded with alcohol
The
and you
hammer
come
of
home
Thor
and
came
you
out.
eat a whole quart of cottage cheese, you are going to get sicker than shit.
I
I could
probably
do it.
did.
I
You're
love
not.
cottage
You're
cheese.
probably gonna
I
not.
put that shit in my hair.
Chris, you don't have any hair.
Why?
Just
What?
to rub
It's
it all
gone.
over my hair.
That doesn't. You don't have
Yeah.
hair, and it doesn't make
It's
sense
gone,
for you
yeah.
to rub it on
Maybe-
your head.
maybe that's why you don't have hair.
Yeah.
You eat it.
Yeah.
It's not conditioner.
It's good. It's real good.
Ridiculous. Because for some reason I'm like literally picturing you. I'm sitting here looking in
Yeah,
my
I know,
mind.
I-
you
Handfuls.
just
Puts his rubs the
just
lotion on his skin
smashing
again.
cottage cheese on your head. That's gonna be the next
Oh,
caricature that we have drawn is you smashing cottage cheese on
in
your head.
hair. Rubbing it in.
No, I still think the picture of dude in a beanbag chair eating an entire tub of cottage cheese with saltine crackers is a better picture.
It is.
Scooped
It's
out,
pretty
man.
good.
He said he was naked in a beanbag chair. We'll just position the cottage cheese thing right
Right.
in the
Whereas-
censored version.
So
Right.
did you guys
Area
ever put
vagina.
anything on YouTube about your guys' picture, your love picture on the Titanic?
It's not a love picture.
No.
We're not in love in the picture.
No. Well,
We're in
mean,
we're in love
Oh no,
with the podcast.
with the podcast.
you're in love with each other in that picture because you are.
I mean, if you look at what the goat's looking at us like, the
yeah.
hell are you guys doing?
Yeah. I'm in love with the sound of my own voice in the picture. That's what the love is.
Right. That's right.
The love represents the love of our fans.
I think so.
The
Or
love we have for
the
our
love
fans.
we have for our fans and the love
And
we
the
have.
loves that we share in common for James Cameron,
Yeah.
director
I thought it
of
was-
Oh
Titanic.
yeah, I guess so.
I
Because
thought
we
it was-
did do the whole Titanic thing.
I thought it was Billy Zane. You guys were in love with.
We were. We got that drawn before we met Billy Zane though.
We did.
So
We had quite a crowd drawn.
I know.
And me and Jerry
did.
were quite intoxicated and causing
quite the scene.
quite a scene. Not bad. Like we were like
We had like
being
fans.
very funny.
Yeah, we had fans there. We had
People were stopping just to like. We had like a bit of a what do you call it? Like a sketch show going on.
We did. You're right. We did. That was something. That was something. And that's not the picture we expected to get back.
No, we specifically told him we didn't want to have really too much idea what it was.
Right. And when we got it back, we're like, this is the greatest thing in the world. And then the next day when we looked at it, we're like, meh, I mean, could have been a little different
We didn't
than
think
this.
that right away.
Well, at first we were like, holy cow, like you drew this really well. And then we walked around a bit and kept looking at it like, huh, took a little bit different like avenue that
And I'm
we
like,
expected.
well, I mean, I was hoping for something we can hang on the wall of our podcast studio, but
Yeah.
I'm not hanging this up in my office.
No, you specifically said that, and you're like, you can keep this and bury it somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey,
So it's been in my
you guys
office
got
at
me is in
home.
my office.
Wow. That's
That's
cool one.
much better.
Yeah.
It's a much better
It gets-
drawing.
It gets quite the attention.
It's
of people.
over, Joker.
That's right. It's awesome.
Well, hey, the other day, podcast listener and sponsor of the show, David Seentop from Seentop Show Picks, sent us a video clip of his daughter saying
Yeah.
something. But I couldn't really.
He said, so,
The difference between me and you.
yeah,
is-
do you know, or you know what the difference is between me and you? And then she said, I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah. So he says it's just a video of his 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And he says, "Do you know what the difference between me and you is?" And she goes, "I'm not wearing hockey pads."
That's awesome.
It's great.
It's really good. And she like knew it right away. I'm sure she was prompted, but either way, it was phenomenal.
What were we talking about? Oh,
Well,
what we're
originally
watching.
it was Mandalorian.
and we-
So we finished that. Everybody should be watching it. If you haven't watched it, get on Disney Plus and check it out.
Where are we at for time here?
We are at an hour 41.
Oh my god.
So, dude,
Dude, what have you been watching?
I think you guys are
but
His
what
Darkest Matters.
His Dark Material.
His
Is that
dark
it? Whatever the fuck it is.
How far are you into it?
I got one episode to go, and it's very PG-13ish, and I'm really disappointed in it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a good story, but it's like
I mean, it's definitely it's like a kid. Like a
Honestly,
young
it's
adult
definitely
novel.
made for young adults and kids, and
But
I
it takes a dark turn towards the end, like the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, I actually wanted to finish it tonight, and then you guys called me. Oh hell yeah, I'm coming. I'm like, I'll
Honestly, I don't think I'm going to watch it.
No,
it's
don't.
never
It's-
intrigued me.
It's
either.
not. it's
I
not
enjoyed
that
it. I enjoyed it.
good. I mean, I don't dislike it, so that's saying something. It's just I don't.
It's not a must see though.
So my next, I actually postponed the 3rd season of Peaky Blinders to watch this one.
You shouldn't have.
I know, because I'm really disappointed.
You need to get into
Chris,
the
have you
3rd and
watched
4th
Peaky Blinders
season.
yet?
No, I can't get into it.
You're so retarded.
The
I've
What's wrong with
tried.
you?
I
What's
tried.
wrong with you?
I've tried to watch it. I can't. I can't get into it.
Jerry,
I don't know what's wrong with him.
I don't know either.
I really
So-
don't. It's so good.
It is.
The acting's so good. What's that guy's name? Shoot.
He's so good we can't remember his name.
Thomas Shelby. What
Thomas-
is his actual name?
know.
It's Cillian Murphy.
It's the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who,
Yeah.
who played
Scarecrow.
Dr. Crane from the original Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, Scarecrow, but he's been in so many other things
he's
other
awesome.
than that.
He's awesome.
He's
just
an
a
incredible
badass.
actor. His brother, Arthur
Shelby.
Shelby, but I don't know his name in real life, is an incredible actor. And then when who's the guy that played Bane?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. When Tom Hardy gets into this, Solomon
Grundy?
No.
I was gonna say
Born
that.
on a
Monday?
I'm glad I didn't.
Have you seen him yet?
Yes.
So he gets more prominent.
Died on a
as-
Tuesday.
As the yeah, I get it.
Born on a Wednesday.
Buried on a Wednesday.
Was it buried on Wednesday?
born on a
just-
Monday,
Just go. Just
died
go.
on a Tuesday, buried on a Wednesday, right?
And something will happen on a Thursday.
Right. And then a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Something.
Anyway, when he gets more prominent, the show just like it's unbelievable. The most recent season, I would say, isn't quite up to snuff as the rest, but the ending, they tie the beginning and the end together so well that it's worth it. Like the whole thing's worth it because it ends differently than the rest of the seasons. I will say, because then coming into the next season is going to be like completely different. It's just going to be completely different, I think.
Can't wait.
And it's such a good show. It's a little bit one note
Yeah.
because it's like the same shit all the time, but it's just so good. It took me almost a year to watch it though. So I watched the first 2 seasons right away, and then it took me like a year to get back into it. And then I watched the 3rd season, and then after I watched the 3rd season, it took a year before they even put out the next season. So
Yeah.
it was a long process for me to watch it, but gosh, I'm so glad I did.
So I'll
very
probably
good.
start Peaky Blinders back up tomorrow night. But
You should. Once you the 4th
Well,
season, dude.
well,
The 4th season is
I-
where it's at.
I really want to watch The Watchmen.
Yeah.
You haven't seen any
I
of
haven't
it?
seen it yet.
You should do that
Yeah,
first.
You should do that.
That's my next one.
Yeah, you should do that.
It's really
Talk
I
about
did finish.
Witcher.
Did I tell you I finished?
No, we haven't talked about it yet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
We talked about Witcher. We talked about Mando. What else have I been watching?
So we need your review of
The
Star
Rise of
Wars: The Rise of
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure you guys. This is sounding very familiar.
Spoilers.
Lots
Yes.
of spoilers. If you haven't seen it, go see it. The beginning's a little slow, from what I remember. The ending is great. She's a Palpatine, which I did not see coming. And when I think they were looking to have the Luke, I am your father type of a response.
Tried to have that moment.
think
but
you're
I think
right.
It fell flat.
But everyone, that makes sense.
I think you're right. I never thought of it that way. Before.
I think no. Everybody went meh. Why? 'Cause
you
it's-
certainly did.
It makes no sense.
It
Okay,
doesn't.
so
I
it-
don't think it does either.
Looking
So-
further into it, I read some interviews with the writer and also with J.J. Abrams because he co-wrote it with another guy who they picked
Some random dude.
No, it was like the guy who did the guy who did like Justice League. That's who they got to write. Like what?
The original Justice League looked a lot. Zack Snyder's looked a lot different than the one they got.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
But when
feel
you
like
have
you could
the
find
ability of-
stronger.
Chris Terrio. Okay, go on and I'll find it. I'll find out.
So that I was like, that's cool, but it wrapped everything up awesomely because they put some things in the universe that weren't there yet, like the training of Princess Leia.
I like that.
That
a
was
lot.
cool.
I
That
like
was
that a
cool
lot.
because everybody, the twins are supposed to be incredibly powerful, and they were, and Leia chose not to pursue the
Right.
Jedi life.
I like that a lot.
Loved it. Loved every
Yeah.
bit of that. And then the one thing I like, her lightsaber came out of nowhere. It's like, oh, here's your lightsaber.
Did she? I
Yeah.
mean, I guess she didn't pursue it. Yeah.
No, she didn't. I mean,
yeah.
she accepted the fact that she was a Jedi, but she didn't pursue
She-
Jedi stuff. She was a
Did-
general before she was a Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into that, because the Palpatine thing, I want to get back to that.
Yeah.
Because
Please.
first of all, the guy that wrote that also wrote Batman versus Superman and Justice League. But he also wrote Argo, which is really good.
I thought
Which one?
Ben Affleck did that.
Co-wrote
Okay.
all these. Anyway, I don't think it's necessary to the plot of the movie, or I think it's actually a detriment to Rey's story overall.
Well, JJ had to do something from the Last Jedi, because I think who was the director of
Ryan
the
Johnson, but
I
JJ was
but,
involved.
But according to
in the plot of that movie.
According we talked about it the last episode, but Chris had said that JJ came out and said I was involved with all of the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
On what was going on with it. Like
Remember, he wasn't supposed to
Bullshit.
direct this movie. They originally had 3 different directors.
Yeah, bullshit. I really think they brought JJ back in to shore it up after the failure and the fans rising up against it.
It was the highest rated, critically rated Star Wars movie of all time.
what
The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Well, of all the new ones.
Critically rated.
Critically rated.
Critically
saying
rated the
good,
highest.
Saying
Yes.
good.
It was like a 95% Rotten Tomatoes score.
It's-
Bullshit.
No, it is.
Yes,
It's
it
high.
is.
It's high.
Now, the fan score was low.
Critics
That
rating
fucking
though.
movie was all over the place. How could critics?
It
like
was.
It?
It had a lot of plot problems.
Yeah.
But it also had a lot of SJW bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
The one thing I really wish they would have brought back was the boy at the end of the Last Jedi with the Rebel Alliance ring, whatever you want to call it, using the Force.
Okay, so here's the 2 things I was going to get to. The Palpatine thing first. JJ was asked that specifically. It's been a big talking point since the movie, why you got to make her a Palpatine. JJ's thought was, and it makes sense after you hear it, he goes,
Yes,
and it makes
great
you
darkness
also,
and great light.
it makes you also think about it less of a critical fan and more of like somebody's got to actually make these movies. And JJ is like, well, this whole franchise from the beginning to this end, this whole span of 9 movies is about Skywalkers and Palpatines. So I wanted to end it with Skywalkers and Palpatines. And you go like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That's fine.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I mean, you don't need to do it that way. It's overly simplistic. And then with the Force Kid, he brings that up too because it was directly talked about too, and he basically says what we were going for was to continue that thread.
Yeah.
With Finn being obviously Force sensitive, and somebody else being Force sensitive, and he goes, obviously, we maybe didn't emphasize it enough to get our point across, but he said, Luke Skywalker says specifically, the Force is strong with our family. So you need to understand that the Force is stronger with all of these people that we've been following, the Palpatines and the Skywalkers. It is stronger with these people than necessarily with other people. And that's why we're following them. But, yes, I think it's a bit of a misstep there.
Yeah.
But
but like I said, when they said she's a Palpatine, I went, that makes sense, because they talk about many times in the Star Wars universe that where there's great light, there's great darkness. When there's great darkness, there's always great light. That's the thing about the Force. There's always a balance. There's always a balance where that's why she's a Palpatine. She go either way, and they're hoping. Palpatine was hoping for her to go to the dark side, and she didn't. I thought that's how they turned Ben Solo back to the light side, was a really good way. I did not see Harrison Ford coming back as Han Solo, because he said
But it was Leia that turned him back.
Correct.
I mean, essentially,
it was.
She either implanted that memory to him, or he did it himself.
Well, it doesn't matter. Harrison Ford came back as Han Solo, which he said he would never do in a million years.
Yeah.
And that I loved. The second half, I loved every minute of it. And now there's also some Easter eggs in the second half. I think they had pictures of Darth Malak, which is from Knights of the Old Republic. There's a statue of him. And there's another Sith Lord that I didn't catch.
I didn't catch that at all.
I didn't catch.
Did you catch some of the Easter eggs in the voices, though, of the Force Jedi?
Yes, I did.
Like they do Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano,
do.
which is that scares me, because is she dead when this happens?
It was specifically asked. Somebody had asked, and they didn't necessarily think about it ahead of time, I believe is what they were saying, but they were saying basically, no, that doesn't necessarily mean she's dead.
Which is awesome. I mean, I love how they brought anybody who portrayed a Jedi pretty much in that universe. Now, I didn't know if Kanan Jarrus was in there or not.
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I don't think that he was. No, he wasn't. I don't think he was.
So, but yeah, I enjoyed the second half a lot more than the first half. Now, you two went back and rewatched it.
Yes.
What do you think?
I loved it. I liked it a lot more the second time I watched it.
Yeah.
And I thought first of all, you worry less about all the little bullshit
You
plot
do.
points that bothered you the first time.
Absolutely. You
Like
come into it.
The Easter, not the Easter eggs, the MacGuffin chases, the
Yeah.
National Treasure,
National treasure stuff.
point
yeah.
A to point B, plot point to plot
That didn't
point.
bother me in the slightest.
Not even the slightest
The
the second
sort of
time around.
omens that came out of nowhere, and she
Didn't
lined
bother
up
me
with
a second the second time I watched it.
No, it really didn't at all. It was actually kind of nice to
Yes. Because
to
I
watch.
think you just kind of already, like the bounty hunter girl didn't bother me at all. I actually caught a lot of stuff I missed the first time.
Yeah.
That explained a lot of stuff.
You know what I was looking for when they went to Kajik, or isn't it Kajiki, or
I don't know.
where they find the bounty hunter girl that wants to kill
Yes.
Poe and whatnot. I think it's just Kajik. But anyway, Kevin Smith is an actor in that
Oh, really?
in that part. He got to play a guy that was being led by a stormtrooper, like he was being led off by a stormtrooper, but he's hooded and you can't see his face. So he played a role in the movie, and he put a big post up about being part of the Star Wars universe now, like in not just a voiceover, but being a physical
Right.
portrayal. I didn't catch it though. He put up a still image of his frame basically, and I was looking and I didn't catch it. I thought a couple times maybe that was the one, but he must be in there so fast that
I find it really odd to get Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell was
I
in
think
She's the bounty hunter
she's the
lady.
bounty
You
hunter.
never see her face.
it? Really?
Yeah, I find
That's
it really
awesome.
odd to get Carrie Russell in a
And
role
then-
that you never see her face.
They're obviously going to
Isn't
do
that
more with
crazy?
that character.
I think so.
I
I think
hope
they
so.
should. You
You
need
wanna
the
know
backstory
what's
of what
really-
her and Poe.
The bounty hunter character.
The red suit with the gold helmet.
Woman bounty hunter that
that
Poe
was
is
Carrie
flirting
Russell?
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked her.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, I did too.
You're gonna get the backstory between her and Poe.
How
Somewhere.
Listen, I'm
Sorry. The other thing I really liked about it was at the end, how they buried the Skywalker's lightsabers and ended that,
I liked
the
it
ending
too.
was very nice.
and then
yeah.
how she
So-
had a yellow saber.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I explained that to Amy. Amy at the end
buried it, and then she turned to me. She's like, "Why is she doing that? Like, what's the deal?" And I was like, "Listen, like this is the end of that era
Marley could not wrap her head around that. She's like, "What do you mean it's the end?" I'm like, it's the end.
of that era." You can't either. You keep saying it's not the end.
It's not.
It is the end of that era of the Palpatines and Skywalkers.
Yeah. Except she's a Skywalker now.
She's not. She says she is. She's not. She's a Palpatine.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I guess that doesn't help anything either.
Yeah.
Does it?
Okay, so she's now both.
Well, but it's the Skywalker saga, not the Palpatine saga.
And it continues.
And it continues.
Her story does, but Skywalkers don't.
I don't know. Yeah.
All the
she'll keep it.
Skywalkers are dead.
Well, I guarantee you might see Luke Hamill back as Luke
Mark
Skywalker.
Hamill?
Mark Hamill,
what the fuck?
Luke Skywalker,
He'll be
Luke
back.
Skywalker back.
Mark
at-
Skywalker, Luke Hamill.
He'll be back, but it'll be in the capacity of like a voice.
Yeah, it'd be a voice or a Force ghost.
Right, but
I
either
don't-
way,
I don't
all
think
of the
they'll-
Skywalkers are dead at this point.
Why don't they just do Ahsoka Tano? That's all they need to do.
They will.
I think it's coming.
They absolutely will. We have so much more time in our lives and in Disney World
Well,
that
I
this
think-
all of this shit is going to happen. There is nothing that won't happen that we're talking about right now. I guarantee you. In the
see-
next in 30 years.
So I think two things happen with the fans not liking The Last Jedi that much. And I think Disney really went, whoa, we need to take this step back.
This one's also very divisive.
Well,
Much higher fan score,
yes.
but
It-
I think I like The Last Jedi better.
Oh, really? No, I don't. I think
Upon like thinking about it more,
I need to see it a second time.
it's in the
But-
same vein as
But I agree with Jerry. I think with Disney Plus, I think they have a lot more avenues. Instead of having a blockbuster movie every single year, so fans have to go to the movie theater. I think with The Mandalorian paying off like it is, that they can prove we can have a TV show like Game of Thrones, like anything else.
I think Star Wars is better on the small screen,
I do too.
but they make $2 billion
Well-
every time they make a movie.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Because Rogue One was so strong. I think they need to just do it more indie style.
Guerrilla style,
original.
I guess.
People
Indie
want
style.
like
people want
people want
original Star
gorillas.
Wars. I mean, Skywalker saga is great. I'm glad it's over. I mean,
I'm all right with it, honestly. Like I'm honestly in retrospect now that they've made these 3 new movies.
It had to
I
end
wish they
somewhere.
wouldn't have done it that way. I wish they wouldn't have brought back Luke
Oh.
and Han and Leia.
I wish they would have brought back Luke Skywalker.
I would have been happy moving the whole story into a new forward direction and not having any of
see,
this
I wanted
nonsense.
to
No,
see
I
Luke
needed Luke Skywalker closure.
Did you?
Me too.
Why?
I
Return of the Jedi is
just-
the ultimate closure.
I wanted Luke Skywalker with his green lightsaber,
Yes.
hacking people up like
Yes.
a badass.
Yes.
See, it's
I
not
completely
anything that
agree
I
with
needed
you.
or wanted.
Thank you.
I completely agree with you, dude. Because from the books that I've read about him
yeah.
continuing his becoming a Jedi Master and doing what he did and training people, I wanted to see him be the best of the best throughout at least one movie, showing his capability, and then we could see his decline.
Well,
But I didn't want to see him be a bum on an island throwing a lightsaber away, drinking tit milk off a goose
fucking-
animal of some sort, like
fucking walrus.
a goose camel. I don't know what else you'd call it.
That's like a
goose
seal.
camel.
Where do you get the goose?
Its
goose
neck was
camel.
it had a long neck.
Yeah, I mean, they could do that. That would be great to do in a series or an animated series.
Well,
Right. I hope they do.
So for
Or
people,
an animated movie. Why don't they make animated movies?
They should make an animated movie with Mark Hamill's voice because
I mean,
he
he's-
can't really act anymore.
Boy, he could barely act back then.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, I could take it back
but
then
he's a
because it
great
was the
voice
70s.
He's a great Joker. He is
phenomenal
Joker for our
Joker.
generation.
He's hard to
Oh, I
watch in that.
completely
movie,
agree, but he's can't.
Hey, Corvette Summer, you ever seen it?
though. No.
You know what he's really good at? Cock knocker.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't.
Jay and
though,
Silent Bob
like,
Strike Back?
I didn't really realize when
You've
they.
never seen Jay and Silent Bob
I've seen
Strike
it,
Back?
but not okay.
I didn't really realize that when they were making this new trilogy at the very beginning. I know they teased it with Han and Chewie. That was a big thing. But I didn't know that was like the main focus of this
Well, either
new
did
trilogy.
he.
And
He
I don't
thought-
think it needed to be.
I don't think so.
Well, he
either.
really thought he was going to play a lot more instrumental part in The Last Jedi. I mean, he was horrified by what the
He
fuck-
doesn't
Yeah,
like
they
it.
didn't do him justice.
No.
He doesn't like it. He's came out and expressed concern, but he's never really said I freaking hate these movies. But he does.
He
Oh,
does.
of course he does.
He does.
They did him dirty. They did him dirty.
They did him dirty.
And they made Leia the hero of the entire saga.
I know.
You
That,
know?
I mean, it's today's day and age, though.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have done like I said, just Luke Skywalker. Just
I agree with you.
Hacking people.
So how annoying is it like that the number one headline that this is getting like all over is all about how people are pissed off because they clearly made Finn and Poe in love with each other, but Disney's too chicken to make them gay.
What?
That's like
I
a big
didn't
thing
read
going
any of
on.
No, man.
I think you're the
it's-
only one that's looking at it.
No, that's like there's headlines all over
I
about
think
it.
you specifically searched
It's a
that just to bring
bromance.
it up. I
I
don't
mean, Billy D. Williams and Harrison.
First
Ford
of all,
didn't-
I think it's ridiculous because he's clearly hitting on that chick the whole entire movie.
yeah.
Well, him and Rose have like. I think it's more of a disservice that they did to Rose.
yeah.
They
throwing her off to
gave her the
side.
Jar Jar treatment
They
because she's
did?
terrible.
Yep.
That's a
Fucking
perfect
right.
explanation
Because
of
she's
it.
terrible.
Yep.
A Jar Jar treatment
See,
because
I think Finn loves Ray.
I do
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
That was the
Absolutely,
Thing. That was
he
the
was
thing
trying
he
to
was gonna
push-
tell her.
No, they said it wasn't. JJ said he was trying to tell her that he was
Force sensitive. I said that.
Yeah.
I said
I-
that from the beginning.
Oh, if that's what the JJ says, I guess I can't.
When
go
we
against
came
JJ.
out of the movie,
Can we all agree
I
on something?
Said that.
If we're moving forward with Star Wars, can we move on from JJ?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Just
that.
like, let's leave that. Let the past die.
The JJ.
Kill it if you must.
Yeah.
This wasn't the trilogy
yeah.
I
Wow.
needed.
I like how he did that.
Yeah, I know. I did. It was good.
This wasn't the trilogy I needed. And I liked
No,
and enjoyed aspects
agree.
of it, and they were fun and they were fun to watch.
Yep.
Listen, this is what we have, and I love it for what it is.
I agree, and I'm glad it got made. But
I don't care. I'll watch them all again multiple times. and
6
I'll
years,
talk to the kids about it.
of movies, or 7 years of movies, and we live in a post Marvel world now, and we need more than that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Star Wars can be a Marvel movie though. I don't think the style is the same.
I don't think it
just
needs to
don't
be.
think-
It's just like you look at it and you go like the Mandalorian, you got Rogue One, you get the Clone Wars, you got
Oh
Star
no,
Wars
I know.
Rebels.
I completely get
you
that.
got super successful books,
I agree.
New York Times bestsellers,
Well,
and you're like, come on, guys.
yeah, I remember when Disney took
Yeah.
over, they took all the really kick-ass books that I read as a kid and went,
Not all of them. I mean, Timothy Zahn came back with
Yep.
a whole new series of books on.
like I said,
There's a
Grand
new
Admiral
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
There's a new Thrawn
Thrawn,
book coming out.
It's already out. There's like 3 of them out.
Yeah.
No, I think there was a
No,
new
they're
one. What's
out.
it called?
Thrawn, and then there's 2 more sequels to it that are already out. Pretty sure.
There's also Heir to the Jedi, which is Luke Skywalker from A New Hope to The Empire Strikes Back. How he's training himself, because he has nobody. I mean, Obi-Wan's
Right.
gone. He has nobody to train him. So
Right.
he self-trains.
I know.
It's awesome. That would be a good show.
I like the dynamic. Okay, are we moving on from this?
You sure?
I guess.
I haven't-
One thing. I got super emotional. I got a little bit emotional about it the first time, but the second time watching the movie after Leia dies and when they come back and Chewie finds out about it,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
how can I get emotional about a big hairy animal getting all worked up about this? But I started thinking about it like, holy cow, like him and Han, I got like as soon as that happened, like and Chewie sees him die, like I'm like, oh man, I feel for this hairy
But then
beast.
after that, you're just kind of like, meh.
But he goes like he gets kind of mad and starts doing stuff. But then him next to the X-Wing and he like falls to his knees. Like this is the last person like that he could have die. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just got so tied up in that. And I was like, oh my gosh,
he's holding their medal from A New Hope.
No, he gets a medal.
No, that was remember because he never got a medal.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. He's
I-
awarded a medal then.
No,
No, I think that's
it's
Leia's
Han's.
medal or Han's medal
It's
or
Han's
somebody's
medal
medal.
that Leia had. They've said that.
See, what I read was that he was awarded a medal after
No,
this.
because they just
No.
kind of handed
That's what they
it to
said.
him.
Yeah.
It's Han's medal that Leia had.
That makes more sense than him getting a new medal, but either way, I'm glad he got a medal.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt bad. I felt bad for that.
Except in The Force Awakens,
Hairy
when Han
dude.
gets killed, he just walks off the plane, and Leia runs directly up to Rey, and Chewie just kind of walks by. You remember that scene?
No, I don't.
It's completely fucked up.
No, I don't remember that at all. But
Yeah.
at the time, when it all happens, you feel bad because he's like screams.
That moment,
You know?
but
Yeah.
then they come back in the Falcon to that planet. They land the plane, and she comes running out, and like Leia comes running up to her, and they're all hugging, and just in the background, just Chewie strolling by.
Really?
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
odd.
wouldn't you think that she'd hug Chewie?
I have to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah,
It is kind of messed up.
there's a lot of problems, but
And
Fucking
it's
JJ.
and you think it's the best one,
which one?
Jedi?
No, that's the Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Last Jedi.
The Force Awakens is when that happens.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, right off the bat, isn't it?
No, I think The Force Awakens is probably the best one.
Yeah,
Didn't I
would
say
agree
that?
with
Really?
there- So
I'll have to watch
the
them
South
again. I haven't
Park
seen them
episode
so
where
long.
they talk about member berries. Have you guys seen that one?
No, I've never
I-
seen it. I don't watch South Park.
So
I don't much either.
So they go back and they talk about not so much that particular, but really close to that, about how Hollywood's tugging at our heartstrings, and they call it member berries, blah 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 blah. But I think the Force Awakens has a lot of that.
They all do.
Yeah, of the previous movies, and to me, it's kind of as you go back and watch the second or third time, which I've seen them 4 or 5 times, you go, man, that's like a New Hope.
Oh my God, it is.
It's straight
and
up.
Last Jedi is Empire, and
Oh.
this movie
Yes.
is Return of the Jedi.
I agree.
100%. Anyway, it is exactly like Return of the Jedi because just like on the Forest Moon of Endor, where they have to go down there
Yeah.
with a ground assault to take down the shield generator so they can attack the Death Star. On this one, they have to do a ground assault to take down a communications tower so they can't launch the fleet into space.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's all the same. And then basically Luke goes to Emperor to the throne room to get turned to the dark side, just like Rey goes to the throne room to get turned to the dark side by the Emperor. And Vader saves him. Saves Luke by
Luke,
killing the
Yeah.
Emperor.
Yep.
And then Ben
And then Ben Solo, Vader's grandson, saves
Rey.
kind of. Meh.
Brings her back to life.
But
so.
she is all
Oh,
a
well,
Jedi.
Yeah.
This is one thing that like I didn't mind at the time, but it kind of gets annoying. And it's like, I am all the Jedi.
Why?
And it's like I am all the Sith. I don't know. I just think it's like a little. It's a little arrogant, you know.
No, I don't know.
Why does she get to be all of the Jedi?
They all live within
She's
her.
the last one, except for Baby Yoda.
She ain't the last Jedi.
I don't know. It's a movie that's called The Last Jedi. Which
I don't
is
know.
her.
Anyway, it still is a very enjoyable movie. They're all enjoyable movies.
They are.
But you know, I've been rewatching the prequels.
I'm not.
and they're better movies.
I'm not as critical of them.
Like Attack of the Clones and
I think the
Revenge of the
prequels are
Sith are better movies.
I
than
think
these.
the prequels are better because one thing,
The
they actually have fucking lightsaber battles.
Yes.
And they're fucking lightsaber
Hey,
battles.
wait. I really love the lightsaber battle on the Death Star ruins between Kylo and Rey.
Yeah, but it's really short.
Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes.
No,
It's not Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan going after each other, which is a solid 10 minutes of nonstop battling.
It's a pretty long
it's
sequence.
not that long. But I do love how they portray it because they
Real
get
life.
so tired
yeah.
that they can barely lift up their sabers.
I think that's
cool.
like the culmination of the movie
Which
right
is
there.
supposed to be like feather light, so.
It doesn't matter, but
you're
have you
exerting
swung
yourself.
anything?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, when you're swinging anything.
you remember wrestling? You wrestled, right?
Yeah.
3 minutes or 2. What were the rounds? 2 minutes.
2 minutes, as long as
2 minutes, you're dead. Like you go from ready to go to 2 minutes later, you've expended every ounce of energy out of your body, and then you have a break, and then you have to do it again.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what that would be like.
6-minute sprint.
But anyway, yes, but you're right. They don't. You know, yeah. You look back at like Attack of the Clones or
Or even the Phantom Menace. Just Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber. When that came out, it was like...
and now
Shit,
apparently
I
like
was-
everybody has double bladed lightsabers.
Yeah.
It's like a big thing now.
It is?
Well, Temple
Who's
Guard-
everybody?
I mean, Temple Guards had them. I mean, all the Inquisitors have them. But when that came out, that was huge. That was like,
Yeah.
staff. It was cool.
Who's everybody that has those?
I mean, characters?
Like in, I don't know.
Everybody has them.
Who?
Like every Inquisitor.
Oh,
All the
I thought you were talking about like main movies. I was like,
No, not
there
in the
really
movies.
is not.
Not in the
Darth
movies.
Maul, and then you
Darth-
see Rey with one in a
Darth
vision,
Maul,
but
Darth Maul started it.
That was the first double bladed
Yeah,
saber. I think.
Oh, is it?
That was a big thing for George Lucas. to
Unless
bring
there
in
was some in like no Knights of the Old Republic would
No.
have been after Phantom
stuff.
Menace.
Is after Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I don't know if there was any in books, but
Not that I remember. That
Yeah, I
was
don't-
like the first one.
yeah.
all right.
But she dual wielded.
She did.
That's
She
not the
had
first
two.
dual wield though in
No,
the
it's not.
movies. Anakin
Anakin did it. Yeah,
did it, and then he had one of his arms cut off
He did.
by Count Dooku.
Because that's actually a Jedi form of lightsaber battle.
Well, I mean, according to Fallen Order, I mean that's
No, it's according to the Legends books. Like rather than kill your enemy, you're better off cutting off their hands so they can't fight you anymore. It's one of the things they talk
Makes
about.
sense.
Yeah.
That's what I do in knife fights.
yeah.
Do you?
I immediately cut your hands.
I stab him in the eyes.
It's the wrong way to go.
Yeah.
Slash.
They still have their hands.
You
No,
keep
but-
slashing their wrists.
It's common knowledge.
Okay, can we
Aim
get
for
to
the
what
hands.
I've been watching?
Oh yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Nothing, because I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
Non-stop.
I've been
This is
playing
like
that.
Star Wars. I'm in Star Wars Overdrive right now.
Okay.
I have been watching occasionally the Clone Wars. I've been rewatching The Witcher, some other stuff. I started watching. I watched Attack of the Clones the other day.
Hey, you know what you
again.
need to do?
Loved it, by the way.
You know what you need to do?
What's up?
Finish The Witcher.
Yes, that's what I'm doing next because I started playing Jedi Fallen Order. I've been super deep into it. I don't know if anybody out there listens as a gamer. It is not what I expected it to be at all, but I'm enjoying it greatly.
It's got a great story so far.
The story's really, really solid. It's not a super long game.
No.
It's kind of got a semi-open world concept where you can do some exploring.
It's pretty.
It's a linear story.
I've heard it's pretty big. Though.
It's big.
They
It's
are.
huge. Yeah, it's huge maps. It's a linear story.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of reasons to go exploring outside of the main quests.
Unless you want to get lightsaber
Yeah, but
material
they're
and
worthless.
ponchos and yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if you want to go back and get like stims, stims are like health
Yeah.
things, which I got all of them now. You can get up to 10. I don't know how many you have, but go seek those out
Yeah.
because
I
that
know.
makes the game a million times easier.
Yeah.
But it's a fun game. I mean, there's a couple things that I wasn't expecting at all. It's like I thought it was going to be more of a combat focused game, but it's more like Prince of Persia, like acrobatics and jumping and timing and
Really?
like room puzzles.
Yeah.
A lot of room puzzles.
Which I like those.
I do too. I mean, I enjoy it. It's a very puzzle based game, and it's a very running and like wall running and swinging,
Yeah.
like acrobatic based game
I'm
Okay.
still getting my
with combat kind of interlaced in between all
like
that.
Pitfall.
Yes,
it's
just like Pitfall.
It's exactly Pitfall lightsabers.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And less
No, it's
snakes.
really honestly, it's very similar to the Prince of Persia game,
Yeah. It's
like some of the newer or Assassin's Creed. It's kind of very
Oh,
similar. to
that
that.
makes sense.
There's a lot more free running than Assassin's Creed, but you're right. It's a lot more tactical based. You got to think about your next move to where you're going to run to, where you're going
Yeah, the difference is in Assassin's Creed, it's really truly open world,
Yeah.
and there's clear defined paths.
Yeah.
This is where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of like jumping and timing and jump this point, hit the wall, double jump, grab that rope, swing over there, hit that wall.
Like Tomb Raider.
Prince of Persia. It's just like that. If you've ever played Prince of Persia.
I have never.
Or Tomb Raider.
It's like Tomb Raider. Is there
but-
any crabs in dungeons?
No, there's lots of dungeons though.
Lots of dungeons.
Aha.
Lots of cliffs.
So it's like Tomb Raider.
Lots of cliffs.
Lots of cliffs. And
Lara
dungeons.
Croft.
It's a beautiful game.
yeah.
Overlooking some of the vistas.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy the acting. The main actor that plays the Jedi, that Cal, is Cameron Monaghan, the guy that plays on Gotham, plays like the Joker on Gotham.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
very good
and he's
job.
good. He does a super good job. I
Isn't
really,
he
really
in what else is he in?
Shameless. He's in
Shameless, yeah.
He's kind of an actor right now. He's really popular.
Yeah, he seems like it. He's gay in Shameless.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
yeah. That's I'd only seen a few seasons of that, but that's what I remember
So
for some reason.
the game, combat wise, it's a pretty challenging game. Honestly,
Is it? Can you pick like
for sure
easy, medium?
And I'm on Jedi Knight mode, which is
That's
just
what I'm playing
second
too.
from the bottom.
Yeah.
There's 2 modes. There's Jedi Master and something else above that. I couldn't even imagine.
There's something above Jedi Master.
I could not even imagine playing it at a higher level than the one
it's
I'm playing
insane.
it at now.
No, it's Grandmaster or some bullshit. But yeah, it's
Like, have you
to
done the
really-
fight with the 9th sister on Kashyyyk?
second sister on Kashyyyk?
Well,
ninth.
the big one.
That's the
not.
second time.
Yeah,
to
it's
Kashyyyk
7
now.
times better than that.
I have not.
You have been to Kashyyyk twice now.
No, I have not. I have not played. I have not gone against her yet.
Oh boy, you got a long ways
See,
to go.
because Night Sister is actually in the comic books.
Yeah.
In the Vader comic.
So you
books.
fight the Night Sister once,
Yeah.
okay, on Zeppo,
Zeppo.
and then you go back to Kashyyyk a second time, and the second time you go back is when you get like a lot of the final abilities. Anyway, you climb the mother tree. It's just Avatar. It's Avatar.
Okay.
It's just like Avatar. You ride around on a big giant bird-like creature like Avatar.
Really?
It's exactly the same. Anyway, you get up there, and then you have a really wicked, difficult fight with the 9th sister,
Yep.
which is like a gigantic Jedi Inquisitor, and it is a brutal fight. And everything after that is...
Why are you fighting another Jedi?
She's an Inquisitor.
She's an Inquisitor.
Oh,
So she's...
You need to read the Vader. It's not Vader Down. It's the newest Vader comic book out by Marvel, and it's really good. And all these Inquisitors out there, and it pretty much starts off from right after
Revenge of the Sith,
and then takes you almost all the way up through to not quite present day, but it's
Okay.
And even in Clone Wars, like Ventress,
Yeah,
who was
Ventress.
an apprentice for Count Dooku, right? She isn't Sith,
not anymore. She quit being a Sith.
but she was an Inquisitor, right?
No, she redeemed herself.
so what's the
after-
difference between an
An
Inquisitor
Inquisitor
and
is a
Sith?
Force-sensitive soldier that does usually wield lightsabers that hunt Jedi.
Yeah,
That's their only
they're
purpose.
Okay.
fallen Jedi is what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Yeah. Because the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels was a Temple Guard.
So it's a really fun game. It's like not amazing
Yeah.
by any means.
I think
is it-
like gameplay wise, I think the Force Unleashed had a lot more forced powers where you could like pick up a stormtrooper.
See, and that's what I want.
Yeah,
and
you don't get
kind
a.
of screw with them a little bit. And
So there's not much Force stuff in this game.
Yeah, there is.
there's some, but you
but
gotta remember this is a Padawan that loses his master and hides. So he shuts himself off to the Force, and he's relearning the Force as he's going through the game. So that's kind of the whole point of it, is that he's relearning everything. So he's not a true Jedi Knight. He's relearning everything.
So
becoming
Okay.
a lot of the force powers you use are based on lightsaber combat. So different lightsaber tactic moves.
Right.
You do have pull and push and double jump you get later, which is very helpful.
and slow. You got
You could slow time,
pull is the greatest because you just pull them into you.
just like in Prince of
straight
Persia.
Straight up stab their ass.
Never
I've
played
never. I mean, is
One
that a
thing
game
is-
based off the movie?
No, I mean the movie is based off the game.
I never.
It's
knew
been a
that.
game series since Atari.
Really?
Yes,
Never heard of it.
but they had a big one for Xbox.
Really?
yeah, never.
Was it Xbox 360 at the Sands of Time?
Send time, yes.
That was a super, it was a really
Which
popular
they made a movie
game.
about.
Oh, really?
And you slow time and you do a lot of wall running and it's puzzle based rooms.
I'd never heard of any of these games.
Yeah. So it honestly isn't like a combat heavy game. But the combat you do is pretty difficult. They don't make it easy,
Was there like a yank and jerk?
Yep.
What does that mean?
Is there? There's a bunch of pull and push. I just know if there was a yank.
Yeah,
and
you can
jerk.
pull people to you and then stab
Straight up
them.
murder them.
You
But can
can
you-
pull
So-
probe droids to you and reprogram them. Have you done that? Got that yet?
I just got that. I haven't done it yet.
Later on, you can pull those big attack droids, like the one in Rogue One.
Really?
You can pull them to you after you get their life almost down. You can reprogram them and they'll fight for you.
No shit.
It's pretty sweet.
Really?
Yeah. I just found that out at the end. It's very helpful. But they have
Turns out that's very helpful.
they have
It's a big part of the game.
not a lot of regular stormtroopers. A lot of them are like
the
higher
regular,
level stormtroopers.
Well, the regular stormtroopers, you
They're a
pretty much
joke.
you
They're an
just like
absolute
deflect
joke.
one laser bolt. They go,
Yeah,
like,
you could deflect laser right back at them. One shot and it kills them.
and they're more
Nice.
like an annoyance than anything.
Yes.
But
Later on, then they have heavy artillery guys with shields.
yeah,
Then they have flame troopers and they have shock troopers, scout troopers. They have
Well, I mean,
Scout
baby Yoda defeated a flame trooper, so
the
Yeah.
scout troopers captains with the laser sticks, they're the most annoying.
they are extremely difficult,
Yeah,
very difficult.
yeah.
Like they happen early in the game, and then you're super pissed off when you're like 20 hours into a game and you're at the end and you're still getting your ass beat by these guys. You're like, come on.
It's not
Really?
It's not a. Well, see, I'm on Jedi Knight level, same as you, and it's not a button mashing game. at
No,
all.
it's a timing
It's
game.
very timing.
really.
The
So-
combat seems very much like The Witcher 3, where you have to think about what you're about to
Oh, okay.
do. You just can't go X, 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 smash, smash, smash. 'cause
No,
they will
definitely not.
straight up murder.
And that's
you.
what Force Awakens is.
Yeah,
It
Or,
is
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed is
This one,
very much like that.
yeah.
when you do get later on the game, you can upgrade your lightsaber combat strength. So you deal more damage. That's helpful. You do get a dual bladed saber, which is very nice for certain things. And then late at the very end of the game, you can. I probably shouldn't spoil this, but you dual wield only for one move, but it's a very devastating move that you can dual wield on.
See, I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah,
Finish
and
that game.
but honestly, once you beat that one boss, I like how later in the later levels of the game, they get to the point where they're like, okay, I mean, clearly you're good enough at the combat to get through this, so we're just gonna kind of like lay off a little bit and let you just kind of play the story, which I thought was smart on their part. They don't just make it an annoyance at the end that you got to keep defeating like all these people,
Right.
you know. So that's kind of cool. And at the end too, you kind of realize that like I can just run by all these people.
Yeah.
There's really no reason why I have to stop and fight them for the most part.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're exploring an area
Yeah.
initially and following the storyline, you have to fight your way through it. But then like there's a period of time where something happens and you got to kind of move back through the entire map.
So have you finished the game then?
I'm very close. Like I'm on the very last
Sequence.
Yeah.
And you're not.
I'm about halfway. I would say not quite half.
Yeah.
I mean, I planned on finishing on.
So you've been to
New Year's Day,
Kashyyyk
but
once,
once, and I'm back.
and
to
you're
Zephyr.
back to Zeppo.
Yeah.
You're about halfway.
So I plan on getting a lot further ahead on New Year's Day, but Bryce decided he wanted to play, so he threw a fit, and my wife made me quit, and then Bryce didn't want to play, and then I was just pissed off, so I just didn't do anything.
I have come to the realization that this will probably be the last video game I ever play.
Really.
That's not true.
It has.
It will not
causes
be
a
true.
lot of issues.
well.
Well,
and the
I
thing about
understand
it
that.
is
That's why I don't play video games anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how I can do it anymore.
why I just
Anytime that
don't.
I sit down to do it, it's like the end of the world.
So Amy and I had the discussion. I was
Yeah, and
talking
it's
about
not-
this video game coming out, or that it came out, and I was like, "Man, sounds really great, this and that." And she's like, "Well, why don't you get it?" I was like, "There's a reason why I don't get this game." I was like, "Do you understand what it's going to take for me to play it?" And she's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I was like, "Hours of my time just sitting here staring at a TV playing this game. How is that going to pan out?" She's like, "Well, you can't do that." Okay, so I'm not getting that game then.
That's what it is.
and here I am, still not without that game. The more you talk about it, is like, I think tomorrow I'm going to download that game and play it. But
Wait, you have an Xbox One, right?
yeah,
You can just have mine when I'm done.
but can't you just download it?
Yeah, but you got to pay for it.
Well, right. I mean,
But I have the disc.
you don't need the disc to play it, do you?
Yes, but if I give you the disc, you don't have to buy it.
I know, but I'm saying, like, couldn't you just do that tomorrow and you don't? It doesn't matter.
No, I need the disc to play it.
You do?
Yeah. That's how they get you.
So if
But
you
I
buy-
could download it off the internet and not need a disc.
Yeah, but you still got to pay.
but you got to pay for it.
Right.
So if you buy the disc, you still download the game,
But you still
but
have
you have
to
to have
put
the disc
in.
to run it.
Okay.
The rub is there you can sell it.
Right.
And I always just thought,
I
like,
see what you mean.
I wanted the disc. And that's when I didn't realize that, like, if you just download the game, you don't need anything. You can just play it.
You just play it, yeah.
And now I don't
That's
think
why
I'm
I've-
ever going to buy a disc again.
I've never been buying disc. I haven't bought
a
any of
disc
them.
in years.
I don't know why you
I,
would, because the discs, if the disc goes bad, you're fucked.
You're screwed.
Yeah. So what I do is I have an external hard drive, and when I'm done with the game,
Right.
I move it to my external hard drive, and it's always there. Because for some
I
reason,
mean, my Xbox is a 2 terabyte Xbox.
oh, see, I,
Yeah, so's mine.
yeah, I have a day one edition, so mine's.
I do too, but I just got rid of it. I got a new one.
Oh, you did?
An Xbox One X.
See,
I don't have
I
that.
think it might be 4 terabyte.
It has to
it's
be
4
because
terabyte with
mine's
4K.
Yeah.
Mine's like a second gen Xbox.
I bought
One.
it because I wanted
I have
to.
a day one.
It's an original Xbox
So do I.
One, but it's like the
until I just switched
second-
like 3 weeks ago because I
I'm not
wanted
switching
4K. The old one won't play 4K.
I'm not switching until.
But you have to have a 4K TV.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Don't have one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Okay.
Just,
No, but you're going to use your Amazon points.
I
again.
already did.
Yeah.
It comes next week.
I know that was the joke.
Bert, you know what? You should not finish that game till you get that.
I got a 75-inch Vizio 4K.
Holy 75 inch.
Yeah, man.
I'm coming to your house.
Yeah, buddy. I was gonna go for the 82-inch.
You should have.
My
But-
brother's always
never-
had
you can
over an
never-
80-inch TV.
You
I
can
backed
never
it
go-
down.
Ridiculous.
You can never go. You've been in my house. My 55 is gigantic, and I couldn't imagine having a 72,
Yeah, 75.
75.
Well, that's what mine's. I've got a 55-inch TV, and it's not that gigantic.
Well, compared to like,
But your room is bigger.
Oh well,
The
yeah.
size of the room.
I only
makes
have
a
one
difference.
room in my house, so
That's what makes
at
it
the
look
time
smaller.
I bought my 55 inch. It was a Sony top of the line 240 refresh. It's
Yeah.
made for gaming. I mean, but now with 4K 240 refresh is the thing
Yeah.
of the past. You don't need it.
4K's changed it all.
And now they have 8K.
That's
They do?
They've already
I didn't know
proven
that.
like you can barely discern a difference. Human vision can barely discern any difference from over 4K.
So
really,
up
even from
to-
1080p to 4K, you can barely discern.
But
the
up
difference.
to 4K, you can see a difference, right?
barely. 1080p is more than satisfactory.
So is it like-
for
What
most
you're
people.
saying is there's a chance.
Yes.
So if I do this, like if I squint my eyes,
Yeah.
Like
the
you can tell
only
a
reason
difference.
I got a bigger TV, honestly, is if I play a video game, I cannot read anything.
I know I
I'm
can't
just
either.
like, what? They make the text so small.
I have to stand
God
up.
damn it!
to-
I sound like an old person. I stand up in front
That's
of the TV.
why
I'm
my-
like, what?
I do too.
That's
I do
why
too.
my gaming chair, and by gaming chair I mean my wife's rocking chair, goes in front of the fucking TV.
You have
4
to.
foot away, and there's a butt
Yeah.
pad that goes in the bottom. And I sit there. And
That's
butt-
why I gave.
Oh man,
That's why I
well,
gave
by
up.
butt pad I mean
A
pillow. A pillow.
I gotta put my butt pad on.
Well, I don't.
So
wanna
I
sit
don't
on
gotta
a hard-
get up on my game. I just take a shit in my butt pad.
I got them hemorrhoids. Jerry, I got them
Hey,
hemorrhoids.
do you want to sit in a fucking rocking chair for 3 hours straight playing?
I got
fucking
my
video games?
preparation age
No.
butt pad.
I'm not allowed to. I already said that. So
Well, that's a
I don't even
problem.
have the game.
Apparently, either am I, because my son overruled me. He threw a fucking fit how he wanted to play.
Kids overrule everything.
So I quit. I got to a point where I could quit, save the game, and I'm like, "There you go." Man, I don't want to play now, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then you go, and then the son and the dad go and pout.
It's a hard game.
That's what I would do. I'd be like,
It's
I'm
a
pouting.
hard game to stop playing
It is. It's very
because like the save points are spaced out just right.
Yeah.
That by the time you finally get to one, first of all, it's not like an auto save feature.
No,
which is infuriating at
There
first.
is no autosave.
There's no auto save.
No, you have to
the-
manually
Well,
at
that's
save
the
points.
whole point. When you do save, when you manually save, it regenerates every enemy. On the
Okay,
board.
listen to how this works.
That sounds ridiculous.
There are save
I-
points
I
throughout
love
the
it.
map. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And if you get to a save point, they're meditation points, and you do a Jedi meditation.
Okay.
And at that point, the game is saved from that spot.
Yeah.
At that save point, you can either upgrade your Jedi abilities if you've got enough skill points, or you can rest, which regenerates all of your health and stim packs, right? But the rub is, if you rest and regenerate your health, it respawns all the enemies that you've defeated.
Which I'm fine with because that's how you earn more skill points.
So if you go forward, like through a level, a hard area, and then you're like, I'm going to go back and save just in case.
You
But
have to go backwards to save.
No, you can keep going forward, but say if you went through a hard area and your health was really low,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, I want to go back now and just
So
save
you
it
gotta
real
go
quick.
through all of that.
But
again.
if you rest and regenerate your health, it respawns all those enemies. Here's another interesting factor. if you save, okay, so most of the time what you find is you just save and you don't rest, because if you die, you're going to go back to that save point anyway.
Right.
And then you're going to be respawned. However, if you go save and you go through a level, right, and you get killed, you go back to that save point, right? But you've lost all of the XP that you've built from that point forward.
What
and
a nightmare.
The only way to get it back is to
to
go back and kill that enemy that killed you. And they will be glowing yellow. And the first time you strike them, you will get all of your XP back and all of your health back, and you will go to 100% health.
Well, I mean, that makes it better that they don't just take it away completely.
Right. But at first, it's like infuriating, but then you
Yeah.
just kind of get used to it.
Yeah,
They space them out close enough.
I don't
that
mind it because you can XP farm pretty fast if you wanted to.
You can, but
could.
If you-
there's
you
not
could
really
just-
a lot of point to doing it.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, if you wanted to early in the game, you could.
I don't know. You
didn't-
guys really aren't selling this game to me.
It's fun.
I like it. It's nothing like amazing.
I mean,
Everything you've talked about gets me aggravated.
hey, you get to
From like,
you get to stab.
ugh.
The one thing that really ticks me off is how you can slice a animal in the game into
Yeah, or a droid.
or a droid, but not a stormtrooper.
No, that's true.
Not that pisses me off because I want to be able to.
I mean, you can pull them up in front of your face with force pull and stab them through the heart with it.
yeah, but you can't cut them in two.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Force Unleashed, you can
like
light
that.
guys on fire, and
Yeah.
they would incinerate.
Yeah. No,
Force
for sure.
lightning.
You go to Dothamir, which is where like Darth Maul's people are from. That's a creepy planet. There's a lot of creepy places you go.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of tombs.
when you go back, a
Lot
lot
of
of
tombs.
tombs. If you go back to Kashyyyk the second time, there's a creepy little forest that you go underground forest you go into. It's kind of scary.
A lot of hairy people down
Shadowlands.
there.
Yeah, the Shadowlands. Yep.
Do you know where that's originally from?
No.
The Old Republic.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
that's the first time you go to the Shadowlands.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 planets you hit. 2 of which you've heard of before, Kashyyyk, and which is the Wookiee home planet.
Yep.
And Dothamir, which is Darth Maul's home planet. And then you go later on to a couple that you haven't got to
Yeah.
yet. I won't spoil them.
That's fine.
Anyway,
All right.
it's a fun one to check out.
Yeah.
I think 20 hours,
Oh, at least.
25 hours to
At
do the
least.
main story quest.
At least. It's cool. Play it,
All right.
Jerry. Get it.
Yeah, I'll have to
Go-
get it.
Go buy yourself an 85-inch 4K TV. Put it in the
I
basement.
can't fit an 85-inch anywhere in my house, but I could probably fit
Yes,
a
you could.
70.
You could fit it on the wall where your TV is right now.
I don't think so.
Yes, absolutely.
So we got.
It's 85 inch diagonally.
So
I understand.
So how can we blow up my TV so I can get a new one?
How can we blow it up?
Yeah, like
Ruin it?
yeah,
I don't know.
Just like
a lightning strike.
throw something at it, crack the screen, and blame one of your kids.
Yeah, crack the corner. If you crack the corner of any
Lightsaber-
of those.
lightsaber battle.
No, just stick a screwdriver in a seam and crack it and
You're like, oh man, that's
like what and then you walk in
Krista!
and then you walk in the room and like what happened? Who did this? Then you get a new one. That's it.
yeah. I had one. My last TV I got because my old one got struck by lightning.
I did the same thing. I had to replace 2 Vizio TVs from being struck by lightning.
Man, you guys are so
When
lucky.
that was when I lived in town was on though. And my homeowner's insurance replaced all that.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty great.
My renter's insurance
Right.
because I'm a renter.
Right. Of course you are.
Yeah. Wasn't it on one?
Well, I think that I don't know. I think that about sums up this episode.
Yeah,
It was all about Star Wars again, which is fitting because of the season.
it is the Star Wars season.
It is. And
It's pretty much over now.
yeah, now that we got your review, it basically is. We've talked about Mandalorian, that's done. Rise of Skywalker's done. Your review of Rise of Skywalker's
Fallen
done.
Order.
Fallen Order's done.
Fallen Order story line, by the way, it really does like it deepens that
It's-
period of time right after Order 66 is like
Yeah.
it's the period of time after that.
It makes you.
It's like the fallout of that.
Well, and it makes you think about the perspective of the Jedi, how they got portrayed, and you realize that they did get portrayed, but it wasn't the clones' fault. That there were clones from like Rebels, if you ever watch Rebels, you'll see that there were some that didn't portray the Jedi, and they were few and far between. But
Yeah, they were able to.
take out their chips.
Yeah. But the story is really good. It's probably worth playing just for the story, to be honest. It's a really solid story.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And they don't overwhelm you with cutscenes.
Yeah, very few.
There is very few, actually.
Just like the level's over, cutscene.
You know, there's a point where I like cutscene scenes just to watch, but they're annoying. It like gets in the way of gameplay, and I don't like it.
A lot of times they do narration over gameplay, which I really like over radio.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Like a lot of it.
A lot of it. That's how you get in your exposition, is like while you're playing.
Really?
They're talking to you.
I like that. That's cool. Yeah, I think we've wrapped up, right?
Yep.
You good, dude?
I'm good.
All right. For Snarf Talk number 58.
Wow. I've been
Jerry.
Chris.
Oh, sorry. I talked over you.
No, sorry. I talked over you.
I'm sorry. No.
No.
Please.
No, you go. You go first.
No, I think you should.
Okay.
You're older.
I've been Chris.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm dude.
See ya.
Bye.